I will not sit up in the nosebleeds. I will not stop until they know me. I want you all to listen closely before I motherfucking proceed. Yeah, when you're grinding on the low key and they're complacent with their low needs, don't ever stop, just keep on going. You keep on working, keep on growing. Yeah. I've never felt so alive. Keep working until I...
What is going on, everybody? Happy Saturday, as we are now 22 days away, as our good friend Roz has informed me about it before on our Discord channel. Well, ABJ's Discord channel. I'm just there as a fucking guest. Yeah, really. I'm really there as a guest. Apologies.
Y'all can join them. Y'all want to join the cult? Come on over.
Please do. That's how I'm going to try to get into that connection. But anyway, how are we? I'm happy to be back. I know I missed everybody for a little bit because of work and whatnot, but nonetheless, let's get to our guests, the more important people of the actual show, the people that actually make this show better, because I clearly don't. And it is none other than ABJ himself. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. Very excited to be on the show. Is this my first appearance? Second appearance? Second appearance on the show.
Second appearance.
You know, what's that?
Second appearance.
Second appearance. It's my rerun. You know what I mean? We're back. We're gonna watch some Collision. I don't even watch Collision on my own, so this is special, giving you guys a little treat here over on the Long Island side of things. But I'm excited to be here and hang out. And right now I'm watching Godzilla get choked out by a 3-headed dragon. But we'll get to some wrestling soon.
Absolutely. And of course, the other one, the man that loves to kick it old school, WCW's own Leo. How are you, buddy? What's going on?
I'm feeling great. I mean, we're getting close to WrestleMania, literally a week from today. Yep. Night one takes place 1 week from today, so I'm very excited for that. We got a lot of wrestling to cover this week, so it's going to be very jam-packed, I would say.
Absolutely. And of course, I see one of them. I know the other half is coming. It is none other than K Fabulous, representing No Bones About Wrestling. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. We're just, I know we're waiting for Asa and everything, so we'll have you right now representing the better half anyway.
Feedback.
No Bones. Yeah, it's okay. The better half of No Bones About Wrestling. So, but how are we? How you doing?
Good. Ace will be here in just a minute. He forgot to do something that he's doing real quick.
Awesome. No worries. But as we get closer and closer to, of course, WWE's biggest moment of moments, that being WrestleMania, we are also, like I said prior, 22 days away from AEW Dynasty. It is absolutely crazy, and the card is starting to shape up to be something or another. Of course, we have Will Ospreay and Bryan Danielson. We have Okada, right? I believe, and Eddie Kingston one-on-one. Is that right? Or am I wrong?
I don't think they've announced that.
I'll look into it.
Someone, please, because clearly I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I never really do. So
they announced Eddie Kingston and Mark Briscoe for Super Card of Honor.
Right. That's Super Card of Honor. Yeah, that's Super Card of Honor for next Friday.
We are going to be getting the open challenge for Adam Copeland's TNT Championship tonight, so that's something to look forward to.
What's Dynasty though? Because I know there's 3 matches already confirmed: Julia Hart and Willow,
right?
Ospreay and Danielson,
Swerve,
and then I know
and Joe and Swerve
and Joe. Thank you. And Swerve and Joe is the other one. I knew there was 3.
Agreed. Wrestling with Bros. Agreed. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
This has definitely been a very interesting thing. There he is, putting on that fucking Long Island merch. He's got the fucking Willow shirt on, guys. He's rocking the fucking handmade by Lily from Witchcrafts with Lily's own personal fucking handmade.
As I'm sitting here crocheting more things.
Absolutely. We love it, and we love seeing you. I mean, this is awesome. This is all. Oh, he took it off. What the fuck?
It's too heavy.
We could have been this.
I made it.
It's like 400 pounds.
I made it super thick.
It's a thick boy. It's a thick boy.
That's all right. We are thick boys. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But what's going on? I hope everybody is having a great Saturday, the day before Easter. Of course, if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter to you and your beautiful family and all of your loved ones. But as we continue to watch Godzilla take down a whole bunch of shit and whatever city he's fucking up, we have, of course, Collision tonight. The Righteous and Lance Archer taking on Shibata, Danielson, and Claudio Castagnoli. The Infantry versus who's the Infantry facing tonight? Someone
Is it
know?
Who's the infantry? Who's the
Yeah,
infantry?
FTR.
Who are these
Ring of
guys?
Honor tag team.
They're pretty much a
Up and
tag
coming
team
Ring
from
of Honor tag team. Yeah, they've been making.
Can we talk about how Malachi and Buddy Matthews are probably out of here very soon?
Please take the lead because I'm
like no offense to the infantry, I hope they do great, but when you have the House of Black losing in pre-qualifying matches to get into a tag team tournament, I think the writing's on the wall that they're not going to be around much longer.
Asa said he's off screen, but Asa said that their contracts are through 2027.
Yeah, but I think they're one of those things.
Oh,
I think
Lord.
if they say enough, I think Tony Khan will release them. He always said like if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be, and I think they might be one of those people. But like, they have nothing for the House of Black. They're not doing anything with them
except for Julia.
But like Julia's kind of putting her own thing out there where she's like kind of doing her own. Like Julia and Sky Blue are doing their thing, but when Julia does promos with the House of Black, Sky Blue's not with her. It's a weird. I don't know. It's strange.
It is.
Sorry.
It is.
Hi.
Sorry. I listen when people are talking, I put them on the big screen so that way people know. Like they're trying to like.
I don't know.
Because like I know, like I watched a bunch of the shit back as I try to continue to grow and shit like that. Like, what's easier? Because sometimes people like looking around like, all right, there's like 7.
Yeah, I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Who the fuck is like talking? So we put you on the big screen so that way you get all the light. But listen, like Anthony just said. House of Black right now has been kind of iffy, I would say, to say the least. They are kind of.
Lily, you're showing the whole butt to the screen here. Lily butt on the screen.
You had a beautiful Lindsay Dorado mask sitting against the heater. When that heater turns on, do you want to guess what's going to happen?
You're right. That was a good call. That was a good.
Thank you. And I'm fixing them.
Look at you pounding them down tonight. Get them.
Listen, I just started.
I love that.
Fucking hard fucking week. I tell you that right now. My ass hurts.
Is it weird that I'm like?
Listen, I love the fact that you're helping me have a fucking job, and I'm helping out the other people that I shouldn't be drinking have a fucking job. So
yeah,
we're all helping out each other tonight. You know what I mean? And I think that's great. But no, let's get back to the card real quick before the show actually starts. So, like I said, the Righteous and Lance Archer versus Bryan Danielson, Claudio Castagnoli, and Shibata in a 6-man tag, trios tag, 6-man tag. Yeah, I was fucking right. FTR versus the Infantry for an advancement into this tag team championship match, which of course will be taking place at Dynasty, which is awesome. Very excited, as well as Ricky Starks, ex AEW, my personal favorite tag team of the AEW tag team division, taking on none other than Top Flight. I like that.
Top Flight Advance.
And then, of course, your favorite, Kay, Thunder Rosa versus Lady Frost in singles competition. And, of course, Adam, TNT now champion, 2-time TNT champion.
I've actually met and worked with Lady Frost a handful of times. She's very, very talented, very, very good talent. She's incredible. Like, she's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very, very good.
She seems like a really cool person to talk to. And I would like to talk to her one day, but she's never in Long Island. I understand why. But if she ever decides to come to Long Island, that'd be great.
Yeah, she was kind of in some kind of like booking nightmare hell in TNT for a while, TNA for a while under Impact banner, where they signed her but didn't use her, and then they wouldn't let her go work the indie scene or wouldn't let her go do other bookings, and she was kind of stuck with. I don't know. It was weird because the Impact was letting everybody go do everything anywhere they wanted, but they were kind of holding her back, which I thought was strange. But I feel like Lady Frost is someone who you could bring in and build a division around, whether it's independent or a company. But also, like, she'd be amazing for, like, if you brought her to NXT as like a coach or a trainer in that aspect. She's that good. Like, very, like, her moonsault is like Charlotte level moonsault. Like, she's very crisp, very clean. Very, very talented. I hope they give her time in the ring to showcase an actual good matchup between her and Thunder Rosa, because Thunder Rosa is just as talented as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Collision is starting, which is awesome. I'm very happy. Me being on all the time for these watch-alongs have been a little bit more hit or miss and kind of sporadic. We are changing our schedules a little bit around as Adam Copeland is starting off the show. As I know a little bit more, y'all will know a little bit more, like I said, and we might just go down to only AEW content watch-alongs here each and every week. And, of course, all the pay-per-views for all the big shows, including TNA, AEW, and WWE going forward. But as of right now, tonight, I had some time. I had the energy to do Collision. So you know what? Fuck it. Let's get on here and let's do an awesome watch along with everybody here. I appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat with us. Toy Hunter, Wrestling with Bros, Sammy, Eric, Steven. Who else is in here? Joe Panther. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming on. And of course,
Joe Panther, who'd he ever beat?
Yeah. Everybody here, of course, if you are brand new, if you are a returning awesome, beautiful face that you all are, make sure you hit all of us with a little bit of love as well in our direction. All of our amazing YouTube channels and Linktree links are down below. So make sure you go ahead and hit that button. Post notifications turn on. Subscribe buttons keep on growing, etc., etc. Henry, what's going on, buddy? How are you? How do y'all feel about TNT champion Adam Copeland? Is this the right decision after all that Christian Cage has been doing?
Yes.
I mean, it could be something fresh for AEW, and I'm always wanting to see something fresh and exciting. And I think this could, whoever does beat him could get the rub because they beat a legend and whatnot. So I do think in the longevity of things, it is going to be something that'll progress whoever wins the title from him.
Okay, ABJ.
I'm excited for it. I want to maybe. Is this taped? Right, this is
live.
Taped. Oh, it's live.
Live.
Okay,
Live.
so I'm gonna make a prediction here. I doubt it'll be a thing, but if I want to see a good matchup and Adam's first defense as a TNT champion and make that title relevant, I know he's been sending out a lot of like younger guys out or guys who are kind of on their comeuppance. What if we get a Sammy Guevara return right now? And we get Sammy versus TNT. Start off Collision, make Collision feel important.
Hey man, that'd be pretty interesting.
That's my shot. I'm shooting that shot right now.
Listen, shoot it. Hopefully it sinks, man. Hopefully it sinks. Kay, what are you thinking? How do you feel about the new TNT champ? Two-time TNT champ.
I like him. I mean, I like him more in AEW than I ever liked him in WWE. I think it was the right time to take it off Christian. Christian wasn't really ever defending it, so it's nice to see it on someone who is like wrestling with it immediately, and hopefully that continues. Also, just from like a viewership perspective, I think it's smart to have Edge with a belt to try and lure more people into AEW to get their numbers up a little bit.
I like that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm happy with it.
All right, let's see who it is.
I've been a big Christian Cage fan as he's been TNT champion, and of course in all of his work prior. But otherwise, it's been cool to see what is next. Matt Cardona!
What?
I think we're on a little bit of a time delay because that's what I was shit about.
This guy was just on TNA. Now he's in AEW.
What the
fuck?
A former Edge head challenging his
wow.
What do you mean you didn't see?
Yo, my guy, what's out?
All right, well, Sammy out.
Sammy's out.
This is a good one.
Sammy's out.
Listen,
Cardona's in.
It's no matter who walks to that ring, you're working Adam Copeland. It's a great matchup. But this is a game changer.
Holy fuck!
That's bonkers.
That's wild. That is so crazy.
I heard nothing of this on the internet, and I thank the internet for that.
Because and they didn't even say anything when he came to TNA on Thursday either. He just showed up.
He was just there Thursday.
Exactly. But speaking of TNA, did you hear?
Now does this mean that he's signing with AEW?
I mean, he was in AEW, kind of did a little bit, but he never really signed. I guess this is going to be a further step to him possibly signing.
What?
This is crazy.
This is fucking wild.
I want Matt
We
Cardona to
both
win.
are about to miss this fucking episode of Collision tonight.
I want.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care about this. I'm not watching
Yeah,
it.
like fuck Collision.
This is what they need to do for
Cardona
Collision. This is what makes this show special. Like, if you want people to tune in and give a shit about this program, right now there's a whole bunch of people who are like, they wrote it off. They wrote it off. It didn't matter. And now there's people right now who are going through their Twitter feed, going through the social media, getting messages like this, and people are going, Matt Cardona's on AEW. And people are like, I got to tune into Collision. I'm very curious to see how the spikes go up right now on their viewership.
Harmon just said it. I tuned in. I turned it on. And I'm so glad I did. We all were literally in your Discord. Yeah. We're just talking, forget Collision, this, that, and the third. I was like, I got the energy. Yeah, I'll put it on, I guess. And like, not really excited too much for it. I figured it was going to be a regular ass fucking show again. And now we got goddamn indie god Matt Cardona, Long Island's own former Edgehead. Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder, woo woo woo. Unfucking believable, dude. And we just saw him last night. And his girl, that girl that he's been showcasing around, who now has a TNA championship title opportunity. Unbelievable. Thank God Dana Brooke had a toothache, I guess. Fucking.
Okay, we're not going to start that. Let's move past that. Okay?
I called him because he texted me and he goes, I'm done with the women's match.
Like, I was like, what did I just see?
And I go, what happened? I get home, I turn on TNA, and she comes. So listen to this. Dana Brooke comes out with this fucking 1960s fucking, my toothache, with the fucking bunny ears towel attached to her. The guy comes out, he goes, oh, she can't wrestle, can't be touched in the face. She has a bad toothache, this, that, and the third. So she's going to be getting her substitute to wrestle for her. It's Matt Cardona's girl that he keeps showcasing.
She's really good.
And she just now has her opportunity against Jordan Grace at Rebellion.
She was an NXT signing for a little bit. She was in NXT for a little bit, and then she's been killed on the indie scene. Unbelievable. Matt Cardona.
Yeah, she was good in NXT. Like, they really could have did something with her because she had all the tools to do something. But did you hear about TNA, Dylan?
I didn't watch all of it.
No, I said, did you hear the news though?
Mike Santana might be coming to TNA.
Exactly. Mike Santana might be signing to TNA.
Do we think this is crazy. Do we think that Cardona is all elite, or you think this is kind of like before where he showed up and then it's a situation where
that's kind of I think it's like the first time around. I think it's like a one night thing.
I think it's
honestly.
a one-off. I mean, if we get he's all elite, awesome, cool, great. And what does that, but my question, like, what does that mean? Because, like, he has other dates that I know about.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to Denmark to wrestle a very small indie promotion.
He's coming to
in a title match. He's supposed to be doing a couple of things in the States. There's been a rumor. What's up, Asa? How are you, buddy?
Sorry I'm late.
Oh, it's all good. But he also has supposedly some shit in WrestleMania weekend. Like, he's making rounds these next like 6-7 months. So I'm wondering, is he signing as an AEW star doing the rounds? Or is he fucking just, hey, I'm here for tonight and I wanted to wrestle Edge?
I think it's a one night thing, but I think this could be like a bigger step to him possibly finally signing to AEW, because I think that's the end goal. I think this is just another step that he's taking.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I
truly tearing up the sign.
Really can't believe right now that we are watching Matt fucking Cardona. I just saw him last year.
I'm hoping to see him Saturday.
Yeah, I hope you get to see him on Saturday.
I mean, I've met him a bunch. I've met him a few times.
Did I ever tell you how I met him? or what I did. So, all right. So it was me and my buddy Evan, and we went to a House of Glory show that he was at. It was when he and Mike Santana were wrestling for the belt that he dethroned. Santana dethroned Cardona, and I walked past him, but I saw him at the corner of my eye, and I didn't go, "Oh my God, it's Matt Cardona." I go, "Oh shit, that's Zack Ryder." Woo woo woo, and he looked at me, and I was like, Matt Cardona, I am so sorry. My apologies.
Real quick, Lily,
how
what's
are
your
you?
favorite thing about Matt Cardona? What's his claim to
Don't
fame
be
for
a
you?
dick. Don't be a dick.
No, it's
You're
funny.
gonna call me out on this right
That's
now?
funny. That's a funny bit. It is very funny.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Everyone's freaking out right now. Go ahead, point it at me. Let's talk for a second.
Listen, hold
Everyone's
on, let's
like,
get to
"Oh
the
my
big
God,
screen."
look it! Oh my God, wow, look, ah!" And I'm like, I know his name. He's married to Chelsea Green, right?
Chelsea Green is a goddess.
That's the only thing I know.
And she
about
should be
Matt
treated as
Cardona.
such.
Sorry, guys. For the
Absolutely.
record, I am still fairly new into wrestling.
Very, very new.
But yeah, I have.
Hey,
this
you
is
knew his
the
wife.
First, technically, the first match I think I've seen of him.
It might be your first time seeing Matt Cardona wrestle. Yeah.
I feel like I'd remember his face.
So he used to be a really big WWE star, and then got released, and then everyone's like, well, he won't make it anywhere because he was kind of always stuck in that mid card hell, and he went on the independent scene and just like rebranded himself, and now he's a big star.
A mega
Well,
star.
it helped me marry
Green, and
Chelsea
as the
Green,
biggest
right?
star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Green helped out a lot.
Yeah.
Chelsea Green, now an American citizen.
I love
Yes.
that her
And
first
so
picture.
was Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
Did you see Chelsea Green's Twitter? Her first picture after she announced it. They had a USA themed party where she was dressed as a Hooters girl, and I was like, "Yeah, America!"
Yeah, she was
That's
in the
great.
Hooters outfit, and then Matt Cardona was like a USA suit.
That's
And that's how
wild.
you welcome somebody to the USA.
Right.
This is crazy. I still can't believe this is a thing right now.
I'm happy we watched Collision. Like,
I remember watching WrestleMania 32 live, I think, for the first time, and I literally had seen him win the title, and I'm like, I never would have thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I get to call an AEW Superstars match, night 1 of WrestleMania in Philadelphia. I'll be calling a match between Marcus Mathers of the independent scene out of H2O, Matt Tremont School, and he'll be taking on, in the opening match of the show, taking on Nick Wayne of AEW.
yeah, it's really cool.
And the main event of that show is going to be former AEW, and current GCW superstar Joey Janela versus Broski, Jimmy Lloyd.
I love Joey Janela.
Yeah.
I like that.
This will be the
Underrated.
second time working
very
with Joey.
underrated.
He's really, really cool guy. First time I worked with him, I got to really hang out with him and party with him a little bit. He's a really cool dude.
He's very underrated, I would say.
Yes.
Cardona's fucking tan, though. I tell you that now.
Gotta be.
That's a
Pro wrestling's
tan.
gotta be built and tan. That's the rules.
Yeah, really.
Is that a real tan or a spray tan, you think?
Always spray.
Right.
Always
Definitely
spray.
spray. Look at the armpits.
Spray tan.
Look at the
Yeah,
armpits.
the
Yeah,
armpits
orange
don't
lie.
color around their armpits, so
Yeah.
like a yellowy color. That's
Yeah.
usually spray tan.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a yellow armpit. Either he doesn't know how to fucking bathe or it's a spray tan.
It's the acidity that's mixing with the hormones in his sweat glands. So not
That's
that
what makes
anyone's
it
asking,
yellow?
but yeah, but not that anyone's asking. That's what turns you orange. So if you turn a little orange from your spray tan, use some lemon juice. Works out beautifully.
Lemon juice.
Evens out the tone. Yeah,
Also,
the acidity in the
A lot of wrestlers don't have time to sit in a tanning bed, and it's not
Spray
really good for your skin
Oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
Also, you can get suntan from a booth.
cancer.
And the last thing you want is irritated skin and then go bump on it for 15 minutes in a wrestling ring. So spray tans usually are the best bet for wrestlers.
That's what I
That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, and with Lily, I think the whole skin cancer thing is probably the primary reason that they're not using tanning beds.
Yeah. And it's a time thing. It's easier to just get a spray tan than it is sitting in a booth.
Yeah.
A lot of them use the lotion. I think for the most part, if I'm not mistaken, they just do like the bronzer lotion. I've seen wrestlers put it on before they went out to like behind the curtain. They just put it on.
Yeah, I think that's why sometimes MJF's hands are like a different color than the rest of his body. They're like very orangey. I think
He doesn't use.
I think he's doing some last minute bronzer application.
He bathes in the son of the gods. All right. That's what he fucking lathers his body in, his god's nectar.
I heard he just jumps in the river in Long. He jumps in the river of Long Island.
Yeah. No, he goes over to PA for that shit. I tell you that. Once he wants to re-up on that shit,
he just gets a shower while he's in Long Island and just gives him that instant bronze.
Oh, I thought he was getting it.
I love it. I love that.
I did see someone that Cody signed a new multi-year deal today, which is
Cody Rhodes.
Big news. He signed a new multi-year deal. Hey, you know what I said when he did that
contract up if he fucking loses at WrestleMania.
Dylan,
Come back to AEW.
Dylan, I say so. You signed a new multi-year contract to not finish your story again.
He's finishing it.
He better.
If he don't, I'm just gonna laugh, and I'm really just gonna laugh because you know the IWC is going to be irate. You know they're.
I was in a TikTok live. I think it was the one that you joined, where Zilla Fatu was there.
Yeah.
And someone was saying about the multi-million re-signing that Cody did, and someone was like, if he said exactly what Leo said, if he just signed a multi-million-dollar deal to not finish the story, that's the shittiest extension he's ever fucking made for himself.
Oh, powerbomb. Oh, that's a nasty powerbomb.
Oh, beautiful buckle bomb.
Powerbomb. 1, 2, he kicked out.
He's staring right at the referee.
Yeah. Well, you know, if they close their eyes, that means the match is over.
Yeah,
there is some guys who are still
open.
There is still some guys who can who pride themselves at not staring directly at the referee for the count, but a lot of them still do. It's one of those things. Is like once you're taught how the magic tricks are done, you're like, that's the things you lock onto in a match. You're like, oh,
yes.
Okay.
I now notice that. I noticed the talking more.
Yeah.
When they're talking in the ring.
Referees give away a lot too if you know the referee tricks.
I have to learn that next. What's going on?
My advice: don't learn the tricks. Just stay pure.
Oh Lord, not see you're wrong for that, but you're wrong, but you're not wrong.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I think it would be such a big deal if he wins the belt.
What if he loses the belt tonight?
Yeah.
She said she's from Matt Cardona. Yeah.
I mean, I'm from Matt Cardona.
I feel like AEW has had a lack of surprise outcomes in their matches.
Exactly.
With the exception of the Infantry and the House of Black.
That wasn't even a surprise.
That'll make people be like, oh my God, Matt Cardona got the belt on Collision. Let's watch, you know?
Yeah, they could use something like that.
Yeah.
But that's the end of it. So
yeah, never mind. I mean, I was still for him. But.
Matt Cardona, what makes Matt Cardona very successful, he's not afraid to be selfish either. He knows his worth. He knows he's big. And win or lose, he's going to still be a big draw.
Yep. That was huge, just watching Cardona wrestle.
Yep.
That was huge for AEW.
Hold on. I'll be right back.
Wow.
I said tonight, Adam Copeland needs to take on a major contender to make this his first title run really mean something. And I thought a former champion would have been a great way to do so. But, man, bringing Cardona out was just as special. What a great way to kick off Collision.
Yeah. That was wild. That was wild to watch that.
Have they ever wrestled before?
I don't believe so, no.
Uh-oh. Lights out.
Oh.
Oh.
Malachi.
Yes.
Shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there's your
You
next
just said
opponent.
there's nothing for him. Maybe it's a singles run. He looks better with his beard back.
You know what's so funny too? Me, Asa, and Kay were just at Greensboro, and it's like when the lights turn off for you guys at home, it's dark, right? You're like, oh my god, I can't see anything. But when we were at Revolution, and Julia came when the lights went out after she was at the top of the entrance, you see her like running and then going to the side of the ring, and I'm like, I just watched all of that. Like, what the fuck? Like, it wasn't that dark at all. Like, what are we talking about here?
Well, they'll also
dark?
when they go dark, they also don't point the camera anywhere that could possibly pick everything.
Right. Mark Briscoe.
Oh shit.
Oh,
fuck.
that hurt.
Oh yeah, it looked like it hurt.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
Eddie.
Fucking House of Black, House of Dim. What I fucking called her fucking ringside appearance.
I can't keep right. What the fuck's happening?
That's a cool New York shirt from Eddie.
Is Brody King hurt?
He had the cast on for a while. A hand cast.
You know what the hardest part's going to be for Julia when she runs to the ring and then she has to quick catch her breath. So when the camera's turned back on her, she's not like
Right.
breathing heavy. You know what I mean? Like
She's not like shit.
if I did a disappear spot, I'd be like,
You
give me a
come
second.
back hulking up. Just exaggerate.
I gotta rev up this one here. Hold on.
yeah. You gotta keep those lights out a little longer for me.
Yeah. Hopefully there's an oxygen tank on the other side so I can kind of boost myself. Yeah, Copeland versus Malachi is not a bad pick either.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. But I hope they don't just turn it into like a 3v3 trios like Mark Briscoe, Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston versus.
This is also going to set up Kingston versus Briscoe for Supercard of Honor. Just like there's like
Right.
it's a friendly rivalry going into it.
Right, and that's fine. Like that's all good and plenty, but you know, we don't need them to be like, oh, let's do a trios spin-off from this. Ordering.
What's your guys' strategy heading?
Yeah, I don't favor them at all. I don't favor them at all to win this entire tournament.
You're
I hope they
crazy.
get,
I
I
don't
hope they
blame
get
you.
eliminated now.
What are their
Yeah.
names again?
Trash.
So he gets
Horrible.
upset because like I've heard FTR a billion times, but like all I could tell you is one of the guys is bald. I don't know. They're like, yeah.
How dare you?
One's
Yeah, I said
one's
it.
bald, and the other one's a gun-tooting, rootin' tootin' gunslinger of the South.
Hell
So
yeah.
that's
We all make mistakes in our life. We all deserve.
yeah. Some
That
do,
was-
some don't.
Was
you
it
know
a
what I mean?
mistake though? Was it a mistake? A guy
I
came
don't
up
know.
to his
Road
car
rage is
and
not a mistake.
no, he didn't have road rage. The guy came up to his window and he says, "Are you sure you want this?" And the guy's like, "You're right." And then they drove away, and that was it. He didn't point it at him. He just said, "Like, are you coming up to start problems?" And the guy was like, "Nope." He never pointed it. He just brandished it. He's like, "Are you sure you want to go this route?" I'm not getting out of my car because I will hurt you with my hands. I'm not using my hands. Like, is this the route you want to take? And the guy was just like, nope.
Cash-
And then he
Cash
called and said
Wheeler
he had a
would be a
gun
really
pointed,
great,
pew pointed at him. I don't know what you're allowed to say on the internet anymore. Words are
Yeah.
crazy.
He could have been a DLC member for Red Dead 2.
Hell yeah.
You know.
Do you think they unify the trios titles and make one set?
I
hope
don't know.
they're putting down on these fucking extensive
I
ass
don't know.
title lineage.
I don't know. I can see it, but at the same time, I feel like they want to kind of keep Ring of Honor and AEW kind of separately. So I don't know.
Yo, those titles are too expensive, but they're awesome.
$5,000 a pop.
Yeah.
$5,000
Oh,
a pop.
nah.
I was told by Ruda Entertainment, who makes custom belts, that he can get you an acclaimed title. He can get you, if you wanted 3 of them, he can get you 3 of them for less than half of what you would pay at AEW shop.
So we're talking like what, 1,200 for 3?
Probably, yeah.
I could do that. I could spot.
But if you didn't want all 3, you could probably just get one for like
why?
$200.
I'd send it to 3 people that I gave a shit about.
Bro, if you're paying for trios titles, me and you, can we be best friends?
Me, you, and Asa. Yeah, let's go. Wow, that's it.
Leo, you're left out in the cold, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Asa put his fingers up before even ABJ started saying anything. So that was his dibs. I get one because I'm buying them, and then ABJ was the second one to come, and then you.
I mean, I met the Acclaimed. I said,
look, ABJ already has a title.
I scissored the Acclaimed. I bought their first. I have their first piece of merch that says "Scissor Me" that is not AEW exclusive. It was a so when the Scissor Me stuff first came out, they didn't have any merchandise for it, and I met them at a convention, and I was like, they had little pink hats that had embroider on it. They were just embroidered hats that said "Scissor Me." And they were little dad hats with the little buckles on the back and everything. They weren't even fitted. And I said, yo, how do you not have a t-shirt that says "Scissor Me Daddy Ass"? It was right when Billy Gunn left them the first time. And they're like, who's really going to wear a t-shirt that says "Scissor Me Daddy Ass"? And I was like, everyone will. And then the t-shirts came out and I retweeted them. I said, no, who will wear these t-shirts? And they both went, LOL, you got us there. And they retweeted it. Yeah.
Scissor Me Daddy Ass. Wearing the damn shirt. Thank you, ABJ.
I don't know where that hat is, though. My Scissor Me hat. It's probably upstairs in my box of hats.
Box of hats.
I actually, at one of my first shows I was ever backstage working at, I was trying to get to my spot so I can get out of the way of the gorilla position. And as I was turning the corner, I just hit like a wall, like hard. And I'm a bigger dude. I'm a husky fella. And I like looked up to see what I hit, and it was Billy Gunn. Now I'm 5'11" at the time, 260. I felt like a boy compared to him. He is a monster of a man. He is a huge human being.
I wear him lifts.
Yeah, he's a big
Max
fella.
Buster has a Tegan and Sarah shirt on. That's awesome.
Okay.
Yo. Listen.
All right, someone's ahead of me because I just am now hearing the yos.
Yeah,
and I already heard the yos prior.
I'm behind you guys.
Yeah, I'm probably behind just a few seconds.
Those ass boys.
I love the scissoring on the scissor on the title, like the cut. That's so genius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beating down Jay White. If you guys believe in your boy, step down with Blade. It's beating down. You guys
Is he wearing a Tegan Knox shirt?
See, that's what I'm trying to read. And I think so.
In the ring, will be no interference. We will not get involved. We will stay away from this ringside area. If you have faith,
What are you talking about?
you'll have no problem with that. I'm fine with it. I know Anthony is fine with it.
Jay White versus Daddy Ass, I think.
Does the quick play Jay White?
I like how his hoodie's tied with the string, like a little noose looks like.
Yeah.
The twink blade. Oh
Dude,
yeah.
he's getting really shredded. Like he's tightening up and getting big.
Max, right?
Yeah. When Max came out the other day with no shirt on, he had like abs popping and stuff. Like he's really working hard in his body.
That's the next hat I gotta get. Is that AEW scissor hat?
Yeah, with the
With
zebra
the black
stripe
and white and the scissor as the A.
I have that one. That's the only AEW hat I have. Wanna grab it?
This one is the only one that I got too. This I bought it at Full Gear.
I was hoping this hat would be more exclusive to the show I went to, but it didn't. It wasn't. But I got this one.
All in.
And then when I was there, I went to one of those little chintzy things, and I got a little London.
Oh, nice.
Next week, the demise of Bullet Club Gold begins.
Charles Manson.
They are looking at 3
I'll be right back, guys.
Daddy asked is wrestling Switchblade Jay White.
Anything else?
I think they just said they're going to dismantle what's up gold.
No other matches.
Oh. I don't know.
You are going to be looking at still.
It's not going to claim the Sun Boys.
ABJ.
Everyone loves ABJ. That's what I heard him say.
Oh, I heard.
And this is interesting, right? Because the Acclaimed are over. They're popular, but man, Bullet Club Gold's pretty. They're a very popular team as well, and they both have really bright futures. Whether it's Jay White as a solo guy, or the Guns and the Acclaimed as tag team in the future. It's an interesting way how they get this done without sacrificing the other, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear you.
All right, first commercial break of the night. So who you guys rooting for here? You guys got Acclaimed? You got the Guns? Where are we going for it?
Man,
I like the Acclaimed. I'm going for them.
I gotta go Acclaimed as much as I hate to say it. I love me some Bullet Club.
I
If Juice
think
Robinson was in the picture, I'd probably change and go for Bullet Club.
Really?
Yeah.
I honestly can see the Guns once this run is done and their contracts. I can see them being another team that would probably jump over to the E.
I can see that, and especially with them getting like a newer run with the company. I really, somebody I would like to kind of see mix it up in the company in the E. I would like to see what Wardlow can probably bring to the table. I know it might seem like a long shot, but I'm kind of interested to see if he can pull something out, if they can do something interesting with him. Because his AEW run hasn't really hit.
The only thing that holds Wardlow back a little bit, and I don't say this to be negative or be mean, but at the end of the day, it sucks because that's just the way a job is, right? Like if you go to work and you get a job and you struggle with mental health and you're not at the job because of that, like that, it's hard to invest money in you as a talent when you have to take care of a lot of things a lot of times. Adam Hangman Page has stepped away a few times because of stuff like that, whether it's family or whether it's
Mox even.
Wardlow has done that now twice where like you have to step away and that's awesome that AEW is more lenient of being like, yo, go take care of that. We have enough roster that we can rotate people through and we're good to go. Like I think what AEW is literally trying to do is like a 6 to 5 month window where they rock with a bunch of people and you work for 5-6 months and then you go away for a while and then we bring in another batch because our roster is so deep and then we can roll with 5 new people for another 5 or 6 months. And now these talent don't have to work 300 some days a year and travel all over the country. And I think it's a smart way to do business. I think a lot of fans aren't used to that because we're so washed of how WWE has done the way of wrestling business for so long. But I think it keeps your talent fresh. I think it keeps your talent ready. And I think it gives you time with your family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. That is true. Because, that is a true statement. I will give you on that.
It's like how the territory used to be. You'd get in, get out before you lost your popularity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I can see that.
I think the Guns would be a team if they showed up at NXT. Like they're huge Sean guys. Like they idolize, they idolize Sean probably more than their dad. Like all their gear is zebra print. Like they are big Sean guys.
That is true.
Yeah,
Ricky Starks. I like that one, Steven.
I think Ricky Starks would be another guy that would jump over. I think he took that CM Punk leaving very personal. I know Jade did. Jade was very upset Jade followed Punk and mostly Regal. Regal was helping Jade out a lot behind the scenes when she was the champion trying to learn some stuff.
I wish I went to the bathroom for this match, not the one before.
Those tag team titles are gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely.
I know Axel has them.
Yeah,
I might be getting them.
Lucky.
Them and the AEW one, I think, and the TNT belt from him.
Lucky.
Yeah, but I'm buying them. I'm not like
From
just
Axel?
getting them for free. Yeah.
He's parting with his belts.
All right, he owns things for 3 months and then sells it all off.
No.
I gotta find myself a spinner. Like the spinner one was always like something that was legendary for me as a kid.
I may or may not be getting a custom title for my podcast brand.
You
I don't know.
should.
I
You
think
should.
I think I might be getting gifted one. I don't know. I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch, but someone said that
I
they
get it.
want, because I've been making a joke saying I'm not the world. I would never say I'm the world champion of something because my numbers and my popularity don't reflect world champion numbers. But I think I'm very work rate. I'm a work rate guy. You know what I mean? So I will. So give me an IC title. You know what I mean?
I'm the WWE YouTube digital media champion.
Trisha Dora is
Second
with
I
one.
love that she's with them right now and that she came out. Anytime we can see Trish Dora on AEW, I'm like,
I
all
wish she
for it.
weren't with them because, man, like they're jobbers. I don't want her associated with them.
No, well, I wouldn't say they're jobbers. They're pretty much more of like a bigger team on Ring of Honor, the way they're portrayed.
They're not jobbers on Ring of Honor.
Well, oh, they're jobbers.
They're
here.
like, yeah, on AEW, yeah, but like Ring of Honor, they're pretty much more like one of the top teams there.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'll tell you right now.
Dora on here.
I think it's a very high possibility they beat FTR tonight.
And then we have Lee Johnson competing for the television, which I'm looking
I
forward
shit
to.
myself if that happens.
So I watched a match. It was Lee Moriarty and Trisha Dora versus Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander at IWTV 100.
Wow. That's cool.
She just recently dropped her Pan Am Championship, right? Trisha Dora?
I think it was a little while ago. Like it's
Yeah.
been months.
She held that for like 3 years or 2 years or something.
I think
Crazy.
she got it during, like, right before COVID or like during COVID, I think.
Yeah. I was there the night they made that title a certified, like, PWI recognizes the Independent Wrestling Championship, and then they recognize that title and the Pan Championship as world championships, and like they're recognized just like any other title as PWI. And I was there the night they were inducted by that.
That's awesome.
Because the champion at the time was Wheeler Yuta, and Wheeler Yuta was the Independent Wrestling Champion, and Trisha Dora was the Pan Champion, and then former IWTV champions came in and wrestled, like Statlander and Orange Cassidy, Wayne Murdoch, Gresham showed up that night. Like, it was a whole bunch of people trying to go for the title. It was kind of fun, but yeah, it was a really, really fun event. And then that night ended with Wheeler Yuta versus Daniel Garcia, and they wrestled for an hour and 15 minutes. It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Talk
was-
about
it
a
was-
guy that's underrated, Wheeler Yuta.
And that building was an oven. It was the hottest building I've ever been in my entire life. I don't know how they didn't pass out. I was watching and I was,
Hey,
I was
Wolf, what's
falling
up?
out. Wolf.
I missed you, Wolf. I haven't seen you in like over a month, I think.
Yeah, man.
He asked to come on, but I think
If Masha signs with
got a
AEW,
lot of
that'd be
people.
huge. I don't know if Masha signs with AEW. I'm gonna be honest. I think
Masha
Jordan.
Slamovich?
Yeah, I think Jordan Grace. I think opened a lot of eyes to, especially with the way things are going in Impact, where people are like doing the hourglass.
yeah.
That if when their contract's up, they might leave. I know Ace Austin just re-signed, and he's gonna stick with AEW with Impact for a little longer, or TNA
Yeah.
with longer. But like when Jordan Grace comes up and Masha comes up, and a few of those big names, I think they might be WWE bound.
yeah, I was gonna say
I don't think it's a
Jordan
mistake
Grace.
that Masha
Jordan
Slamovich
Grace.
is wrestling Shayna Baszler at Bloodsport.
Jordan Grace, I think, is definitely because like the matches she can have with Charlotte, Becky, Bianca, Rhea, like those are just gonna be some dream matches. Just name a few. Like you
And
can't
and
go wrong with
Masha's just as good, if not better, than Jordan
Yeah,
Grace.
it. Exactly,
You know what I
but
mean?
she's more vicious though. Like
Yeah.
if you let her be vicious, her and Shayna are going to kill it. Her
Yeah.
and Shayna are going to kill it.
The
I
win.
don't
I
think-
want someone's fucking head to be broken.
Yeah, I don't think it's a mistake that Masha Slamovich is working Shayna Baszler this year.
I like the fact that they're kind of starting to explore their options and they're kind of starting to work with other companies. I want to see more of that in the future.
Last year, ESPN did their top 10 or top 15 or something wrestlers of the year, and Seth Rollins was number 1, and they went through the whole list. Masha Slamovich was 8. 8 in the world, and
Wow.
ESPN put her on that list. She's getting noticed. I think the right eyes are on her. And Masha and Jordan are always training together, always working together, doing stuff behind the scene together. Like I think there's a few people that might be a package deal when their contracts come up. And Steven even said Killer Kelly is a free agent coming up soon.
Yeah.
Camille is somebody I think could probably show up in AEW.
Yeah.
From NWA. That woman.
And another one, if she can shake that stigma that happened or shake the controversy about her, I still think the best female wrestler on the planet still out there as a free agent working the independent scene here and there. And that's Tessa Blanchard.
Yeah.
In ring ability, I don't think there's anyone out there right now that's better than Tessa Blanchard. The only one that's on that level is Charlotte Flair.
Tessa, I think David said like AEW was trying to, get her. WWE was trying to get her, but when that whole situation kind of went down, it kind of just watered everything down, and people didn't want to sign her.
I don't know what she did. We'll just say she did all the proper steps that she was asked to do by both companies to be signed by them because they were interested. The only other thing that she had to do was apologize for the situation and apologize for things that were said. And she said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't say." And they said, "Okay." Then they moved on. She says everything that happened that night with the fight and everyone getting in each other's face and screaming and being drunk and all that went down. But I did not call that girl a racial slur. And she goes, "I'm not going to apologize for something I didn't do."
That is true.
But talent-wise, I think she's top 3, top 2 best female wrestler of all time. You're not raised by Magnum TI and Tully Blanchard and not be good at this business. It just doesn't happen. Tasha Steelz is another very talented person. I'm a big fan of.
She's good. She's really good, honestly.
It just sucks because now women's wrestling has gotten so big and so massive and so the talent pool got so huge that like women's wrestlers are starting to fall into the same trap as men's wrestlers. Where if you're undersized, it's like I don't know if I can use you. You're 5'2" and 116 pounds. Like back in the day, you would have been a runaway world champion. But now with like the Bianca Belairs and the Rhea Ripleys and these girls becoming bodybuilders and agile and bigger, faster, stronger, women's wrestling is becoming big.
I mean, it is, but there's I feel like they're gonna try to fit like the undersized wrestlers where they can. I mean, this is kind of where we talk all the time is like where a mid-card title could be beneficial for people like that are undersized who might not be able to get to like that world title level because of their size, but they can still find success elsewhere in the company.
Yeah, AEW is fine with a world champion, and they put smaller guys in title pictures and smaller guys in front of titles, and they find a way to balance that and make that a thing. But WWE has you so brainwashed that bigger is better, and to be a world champion, you have to be a heavyweight and you have to be big and strong. And now you look at that women's landscape of WWE with Raquel and Rhea and Bianca and Trish Stratton, who's like a bodybuilder. Like you have all these really big, strong girls. Those Liv Morgans and Alexa Blisses are just not believable world champions at this point in time.
I mean, and they still can be, but it takes a lot of convincing to do so, honestly. But that's what
they tried. Liv Morgan beating Ronda Rousey did not look believable, and it did not look good.
That's where they like when I look back at it, I'm like, that's kind of where they messed up. Because like, if you wanted her to be a serious champion, you shouldn't have put her in the deep end right away with having her do a rematch with Ronda again when you book yourself in a corner, because it's like, well, we can't have her lose and we can't have Ronda lose. So what do you do? You could have just had her face somebody else, and then you could have built back to that or in the future and then go from there. But no. Julia, I think, is going to be NXT bound. I think maybe Julia is probably going to go to the main roster. I don't know. with her talent, I feel like she could go to NXT, but don't rule it out if she does go to the main roster.
Asuka was one of the biggest things coming out of Japan at one point in time, and she still went to NXT. I think the problem is when in the WWE universe, they don't really give a lot of roses to someone who has big accomplishments outside of their brand. So to come in and be treated as such is a big deal. And if you are, you need to look like a goddamn superhero. Insert Jade here. You know what I mean? I think Julie is very good, but I think Julie is someone that would probably come in and they would have to build her up to something else.
Yeah, probably put her in NXT and have her like learn the WWE style of wrestling and stuff like that because she's used to a different style. So they kind of have to learn her a different style in the WWE. So that is true. That is true.
And I no offense, I know this might get Eric says in the chat. Look at Liv Morgan. She's a perfect example of undersized female who's actually amazing in the ring.
She's decent.
I would not say amazing in the ring.
She's good.
She's decent, but dude, her finishing move, she can't even land it 90% of the time. It doesn't look like it's effective at all.
And most of the time, she gets
use amazing to describe her in the ring.
What's that?
I would say good.
Morgan.
Yeah, no, not amazing.
Not
Yeah,
amazing.
Good.
I wouldn't.
I'll say she's good.
Yeah,
Good.
I'll say
Yeah.
she's good.
I don't think I don't
amazing.
think she's top 10 in the women's division in that company.
A chicken parm
I don't
sandwich
think
could be
it's
good.
Anywhere near the.
Hey.
the
We're not
main
comparing the sandwich to Liv Morgan, okay? That's two
Just
different
saying,
conversations.
some shit's edible and digestible. Some shit isn't.
Well, like I said, like when I said recently, I do think her heel turn could potentially do wonders for her, maybe to kind of do something for her. We'll have to see how they execute
Can I
it.
ask an honest question? And I'm
Go
not
for it.
saying this to be a dick, but it is what it is. If Liv Morgan looked like Shayna Baszler, would you have the same energy?
If she was pretty much more presented as a
No.
No,
You gotta think
no.
about that.
No.
That's a no, dude.
Wait.
When
Okay.
you have to think of your answer that
If
hard,
Liv Morgan looked like
Wait.
Shayna Baszler is the question, would you have the same energy? And you hesitated.
No,
So you're booking because she's pretty.
she's good. What do you mean?
She's all right. Is Liv Morgan a better pro wrestler than Shayna Baszler?
hell
No.
no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
That's all I'm saying.
Literally, if you
I'm not
look at-
taking
look
away
at-
people's
look at-
accomplishments
look
or
at-
what they've done in the ring by their
Look at
looks.
Shayna Baszler's NXT run. She was a killer. Liv Morgan stated they booked her, but they never booked her to be in the title picture. They just pretty much used her as a enhancement talent in NXT.
I just think people need to be a little more realistic when they're trying to talk about their favorite wrestlers. Like they should be on
Ooh.
top of the world. And you're like, should they?
I
Are they
do
just-
think I do think hopefully she does get back to the point, like get back to the top, maybe. But it's hard, like you said, with a lot of the Biancas and the Jade Cargills
Look
of
who
the
just
world.
arrived at SmackDown
Dude.
last night.
Can I finish my sentence? Dang it!
The WWE has 6 Chinas right now. 6 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard.
No, I'm saying like I hope that there's a possibility in the future that she could get back there, hopefully. But like I said, when you have the Jay Cargills and the Biancas of the world, it's hard to kind of see it.
Yeah.
Because you know they're gonna be putting all their eggs and like their focus on, like you said, these bigger than life wrestlers like your Biancas, your Jay Cargills, your Rhea Ripley's, your Charlottes when she comes back. Like you're gonna be focusing on those women, and it's like everybody else is kind of floundering.
How would I book Liv?
I wouldn't.
Liv would be enhancement talent. And right now, if I look at the landscape of WWE,
Oh,
I
Lord.
wouldn't. She would not be near a title picture. I would put her in a mashup tag team with Alexa Bliss and go from there.
If I was the booker, I would just have her be a mid-card champion.
I wouldn't.
A mid-card champion, or maybe just send her and repackage her in NXT or something. I don't know.
I look at that roster and I see who's there, and I just say I don't see a spot for her.
Unless
think-
it's a
I think
mid-card
she was-
division.
I think
If it was like a
she's
mid-
been given that ball and she floundered it, and I move on. Like I don't know. It's hard to say. Like, dude, Tiffany Stratton is someone that I think moves up the higher, makes Liv move down the list. Like, there's just so many people out there that I think just move Liv down. Alexa Bliss. If Alexa Bliss came back tomorrow, I'd be like, what do you do with her? You know what I mean? Like, there's not
That
much
is
to do
true.
with her.
Because I'm pretty sure you're gonna bring back a lot of different women's wrestlers
Alexa's
later
going
this year.
crazy in my bathroom.
You had to say her name.
Alexa's going to be coming back probably after Mania. You're going to have Carmella come back, and then you're probably going to have some new debuting or returning talent. Or
so here's the difference. There's an example. Carmella. I think Carmella is okay in the ring, but I think Carmella's charisma makes Liv and Alexa Bliss look like. Well, I mean, Alexa Bliss, when Alexa Bliss was doing the icon thing and you couldn't keep a title away from her, her charisma showed through. And even though she's undersized, what she brought to the ring as a character made Alexa Bliss really popular. Liv Morgan as a character, she hasn't shown any of that yet.
And I feel like that's kind of where she's lacking, is the character, like having a character like that the fans
you can't be okay as a wrestler and then just decent enough to be as a character and be considered a top contender in the company.
Nah, you have to kind of have one or the other, or have both even. Like for her, if she's gonna be, like you said, decent in the ring, she's gonna have to have a character that really can catapult a lot of and engage with a lot of the fans, like that they can get behind, like, oh, I'm excited for what she's doing, I'm excited to see what she does next. Like you want to have them guessing about them. You don't want to just know, oh, you know what you're getting into when you see them.
Eric says ABJ, so when your company goes over because the fans love Liz and you're not booking her, she's not being booked right now, and they just sold for billions of dollars. So I think WWE's doing just fine with Liv Morgan without a title or around her waist.
And you got to think about it. This is her, like, it's crazy, ABJ, and I looked at this earlier. This is like literally her first WrestleMania that she's not going to be on. Like, since she's been on the main roster, she's been on every WrestleMania.
Real quick, Shayna Baszler is good-looking woman. That's just a shit take if you ask me. I'm not putting down Shayna Baszler for her looks, but Shayna Baszler is not being pushed because of her looks. That was my point I'm making there. I think someone like Shayna Baszler is not being pushed because she does not look like a megastar supermodel. And I think more people are in Liv's corner because she's very pretty. And I think that's where her limitations go. I think Shayna Baszler is one of the best female wrestlers in the world. But I'm just trying to point out that I think more people are pushing and clamoring for Liv Morgan and not 90% of the roster because they're attracted to her. I think they're booking with their wrong head.
That is true when you really think about it like that, because it's like when you, like you said, like if you don't have that look, like the look of a star, then your chances of succeeding in the company is pretty much almost slim to none.
Vince McMahon would have never booked Shayna Baszler, and that's the truth. And that's why Shayna Baszler was amazing under Triple H and NXT, and then she moved to the main roster, and Vince took a look at her and goes, "I'm not interested."
So this is an actual fact, and I really shared this with Dylan, I think on TNA, or I believe Liv Morgan was never supposed to be women's champion. She was never supposed to win Money in the Bank. So originally, that year where she won, Lacey Evans was supposed to win. Vince had her penciled in to win and everything, but Triple H was the one backing Liv Morgan up that for Money in the Bank. So that's why they ended up giving it to her.
She also came at a time where Lacey got injured, and then Lacey got pregnant. Then Charlotte got in. Like, Liv fell into pieces because people around her went down to injury.
That's true. That is true, because there wasn't really a lot of people. Like, a lot of them were not there. So that's kind of where she came into play, because a lot of them weren't there for like during the pandemic era and everything like that. But like you said, if like just think of like even if the pandemic did happen and a lot of the wrestlers were there, you got to think like, oh, she probably wouldn't have gotten used much. She probably would have been still doing main event like shows and stuff like that. Like, I don't think her rise would have been what it is now.
Yeah. WWE doesn't have 6 Chinas. There'll always be one, and that's China. China, what I'm saying with China is China was the first female bodybuilder who had a different look and a different attitude to WWE. But I'm going to be honest, and I'm not disrespecting China because I'm not like because she's no longer with us. But China in the ring wasn't the greatest because and her time, they didn't put the effort into making females that good in the ring. So China was just really strong, who was able to throw around really small women. And then when it looked unbelievable, then she started wrestling the men. And then China was able to cross over and win IC titles and do stuff like that. Women right now will never do that because they don't want to cross over men and women fighting on TV, because that's just not the image that they want to do. But when it comes to, like, there's 6 women in WWE right now who are all as strong and as big as China, but are in ring are just as good as some of the mid-card dudes. Like, they're very, very talented because women's wrestling and women's training has gotten so much better.
So you can put an end to the match.
I don't know about that. If Alexa if she came back, she should do that. I don't know. I think she should go back to being the goddess, in my personal opinion.
Great. I think all of that Firefly Funhouse Bray Wyatt stuff should
No,
go away.
don't do that. Like, if they decide to do anything Bray Wyatt, it should only be for Bo Dallas if he's gonna be doing anything.
Jade Cargill is a talent in WWE that is bigger. Jade Cargill's the first Rock of WWE. She's the first person that you bring in and then put her in movies and put her. So here's the thing: when you sign to WWE and you are given the WWE contract, anything you do outside of the WWE, you pay the WWE. Every time John Cena's in a movie, a portion of his check goes to WWE. Every time the Rock, well, now no longer the Rock, because they bought he now owns all of his property and intellectual rights. But anytime Hogan went and did something, he cuts a check to WWE because WWE gave him that platform. Jade is someone that they see outside of the brand of WWE because there's no one that it looks like her. She looks like a superhero. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Jade, if Jade can only be 10% of a good wrestler, but what everything else she possesses, the look, the charisma, everything is mega star status.
Did we literally wait a second? All right, I'm sorry to interrupt this whole ass whooping right now that we're getting, but are we truly getting a fucking trios match against the 3-3 that I just asked to pray to God that didn't fucking happen?
It won't be a
pay-per-view,
will it?
at Dynasty.
Yeah. Oh, it will be Dynasty? Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What the fuck, dude?
Wait. Run that back.
Pre-show
So
match.
we're getting
It's a pre-show
Mark
match.
Briscoe, Edge, and Eddie versus all three members of House of Black at Dynasty.
Correct.
That is dumb.
Yeah,
Don't
let's give it
have
a
to do that match before, like on
How-
the road.
they-
to Alabama.
Dude,
Listen,
why couldn't they just?
Adam,
I wanted to see I wanted to see Malachi versus
give
Copeland
us
for the
Copeland
TNT.
and
I think that's
Malachi
the end result.
leave
Like you have
Eddie
to build there.
and
This is
Briscoe
on the
and
journey.
fucking.
He attacked him. That is.
That's
they
it.
don't need to
That's
extend.
it. That's all we needed. That's all we needed.
Yeah, first off, y'all are
needed.
being so disrespectful. Look at JD Drake in the ring right now, killing it. JD Drake
I
up in
don't
here.
want to
Look
see
at
a
this
great
guy.
value Kevin Owens with no
Who
shirt
is
on.
this guy? Look
He
at him.
said the
Drake looks
great,
like what I
the
look
Wish
like in the
version,
fucking
Kevin
one.
Owens.
Yeah, he's
I like
taking
it,
it to
Drake.
Colorado. Look at JD.
I like
Get
it
him,
a lot.
Uncle
JD.
Kevin Owens right there.
Yo, I truly.
Is anyone
Oh,
else's
they start-
audio sound super choppy on
11:30
their
at
stream?
night next Saturday?
Nope.
Yeah.
Does anyone's audio sound crappy on their stream?
11:30
Are they-
the next Saturday. Yes.
Are they planning on doing it after Mania so they can still get their viewers?
After WrestleMania? Yeah.
I
Our
can't
audio's fine.
believe we are getting. Thank you so much, Lunatic. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe to all of our amazing guests as well. ABJ, Lily, Asa, Kay, No Bones. Not Leo. Leo has bad takes about Liv Morgan. But no, Leo too. But yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What the fuck, guys? We really getting a shitty ass 6-man tag at Dynasty?
I think we're getting a
I'm,
good
I'm fine with it. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a wild ass match, man.
Yeah, I don't hate it, but I the only thing I fear with it is like the House of Black go out there and take another loss to a makeshift team. Like if they're the House of Black and they're supposed to be this giant like super group and they're supposed to be this big cohesive union, and then they go out and then 3 dudes who barely even work together go out there and beat them, I think that's terrible for the House of Black, but it is what it is. Like that, I think that's what the disconnect is that House of Black is not. The House of Black got beat up by Darby Allin by himself for like a month. You know what I mean? Like House of Black has been like, I hate to say it, they're jobbers. Like they're like they don't win anything. Like it's bad.
No Bones About Wrestling is Asa NK's YouTube channel. Lunatic, if you want to go down in the description here on YouTube, if that's where you're viewing it from, you can go to No Bones About Wrestling's link YouTube channel there, and that gives you all of their content, their weekly podcasts, their audio version of podcasts, everything that they do is over there.
Temple, I'm not saying these are just my beliefs. I'm just telling you how WWE historically books their division and what they have there. I'm not saying that's how I would do it. I'm just saying that if it don't get your hopes up.
Already subscribe to them. There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these aren't just I'm just talking as a logistical business standpoint. Like, if you look at the business and you look at history of the business, this is probably the route they're gonna go. I don't think your looks and any of that should matter at all when it comes to your wrestling. I think it should come to your ability and what you do. But that's just not the case when it comes to certain TV brands.
I think Bayley, like, not being on WrestleMania posters is a good example of that. Not that Bayley's unattractive, but it's like she's not as like conventionally attractive as like Bianca Belair, for example.
Absolutely. And Bayley's probably one of the best work rate people in the company. And if you think Vince McMahon doesn't like, Vince McMahon had plenty of opportunities to book Shayna Baszler. He didn't.
No, I think you're totally right. Oh, that's cool.
But I do think the future of WWE can change on a dime, and I think it will happen around the time Netflix deal, the Netflix merger happens.
Are we just trying to prove that Ospreay is the leader of the Don Callis family by having him beat Takeshna, having him beat Hobbs, having him beat Fletcher?
I think the route they can go is he's not falling into line, or the rest of the team is jealous of his success and he's coming in and taking over them, and then they turn on him or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's the way I think it's going.
See, but
I'm so happy that Bill got his shit together.
We don't have to do it this way, though. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have to prove that Ospreay's the leader by taking out his fucking team in the process.
Dylan, there's so many storylines going on right now. You got to keep people busy and working.
Right, but we could still be doing that with Ospreay with what we have currently to keep him
you have
active.
to be careful. You have to be careful who you book people against, because if they're part of storylines, you ruin other storylines. So Don Callis family isn't doing anything.
People going on right now. Not much is happening.
So who would you book Ospreay against right now?
I gotta look at the roster. Give me a second. But I guarantee you I can figure out 3 matches.
But the story is getting Ospreay away from the Don Callis family is the end goal.
Right, and I wouldn't book I would not have Ospreay wrestling the Don Callis family. If you want Ospreay to show that he doesn't need the Don Callis family to be top dog, you don't have him beat the people that aren't doing shit on the Don Callis family side. Powerhouse Hobbs hasn't had a decent, good match for a while.
But what if Ospreay can showcase Hobbs into something he hasn't done?
He was pretty good in the meat match at Revolution. Meat Madness.
Okay. Yeah, it was okay.
So I want to post something to you. My friend Christina Marie, she wrestles on the independent scene. She's very talented, but she always felt like she was missing that one moment, that one thing, that one person backstage where she worked with and rubbed, got that rub from, where she picked something up that she didn't think she had before. And they brought in Mercedes Martinez, and her and Mercedes Martinez worked 2 matches together in a 2-month span. Now, on the independent scene, you don't get to go home with that person or go to a training facility with them or get to like you get maybe an hour before the show starts to really pick their brain, really work with them in the ring before the fans get in there. And you have that small little window to better yourself with someone who's been at a higher level than you. And those 2 hours before a show, and then whatever minutes they got in the ring, transformed Christina Marie into a better talent because she worked with someone like a Mercedes Martinez, and it made her better. So I think anyone in that thing that you get in the ring with a Powerhouse Hobbs, getting in the ring with an Ospreay, is going to unlock something in him to possibly make. But
you're also showcasing that Powerhouse Hobbs can't wrestle still. So if the point from what you're saying, if the point is to show or ignite that flame for someone like Powerhouse Hobbs that we haven't seen yet to then maybe have him on a trajectory of getting somewhere, maybe getting into a single feud or a good storyline or just something. It doesn't even need to be title picture. Having someone like Ospreay with the name alone and his actual capability in the ring and him knowing that he's not going to take a loss right now would be counterproductive.
You're trying to get him. You're trying to get him out of a stable, but you're also trying to get Will Ospreay's win-loss record up because win-loss records mean something for a title.
Don Callis family doesn't need anybody to prove that Don Callis family is a good faction, except having Will Ospreay and Takeshita and Fletcher proving that those are the three guys to make that Callis family a force to be reckoned with. If you're having Will Ospreay take down Takeshita, who's been putting on 5 out of 5 matches, classics, beating Kenny Omega, Jericho, and having a match with Will Ospreay.
Then and took Ospreay to the limit.
And took Ospreay, took Ospreay to the limit. Then you have someone like Fletcher, who's been great in the singles division, really exciting in the tag team division.
Took Ospreay to the limit.
Right.
Yeah.
But that only is not doing anything for the other guys.
I think you're wrong. I mean,
I think it makes them look credible because they almost beat a guy like a Will Ospreay.
Yeah, like he doesn't need to win the match. He needs to do exactly what he's doing. Like bring out this other talent and not only showcase their abilities, but also
what does that do for
have them show that like they almost beat Will fucking Ospreay, you know? Like,
yeah, it gets them both over. It's like Will Ospreay is amazing. Holy fuck. And that guy almost beat Will Ospreay.
Like you almost beat a wrestling god.
Yeah.
You know? So like this kid who's got the Ring of Honor television title, which not a lot of people subscribe to Ring of Honor that watch AEW.
No.
So
because it's not mainstream.
In the tag team in a while because Mark's been injured. Like you haven't seen Fletcher really what he can do. And I feel like that match, even if it was no story, just to like introduce Will Ospreay to the television AEW crowd, if it was like people who hadn't bought the pay-per-view, like I feel like it was a great showcase of Will Ospreay's ability for people who might not watch New Japan and don't really know what he's about as far as his wrestling goes. And I feel like they've handled the end of the matches really well too. Like at the end of that Fletcher match, Ospreay and Fletcher hugged and they were like, they both had this look in their face addressing each other as like, man, you were awesome. This was awesome, you know?
Right.
And
right.
Can I pose another aspect to this as well? Mm-hmm. He wrestles Fletcher. Him and Fletcher are buddies. They embody British strong style. They've trained in Australia. They trained in UK and London in Japan. So that's a style of Will Ospreay that showcases what he is as a wrestler because he's working with his long-term best friend, and they show that British strong style. They show a little bit of that Australian style because there's that mixes there. Then he wrestles Takeshita, which is essentially New Japan. So that's a New Japan match for Will Ospreay to showcase what he can do Japan strong style. Now he's wrestling a Powerhouse Hobbs, who's a meaty, big American wrestler who is a powerhouse. You've never really seen Ospreay in America wrestling that bigger, stronger dude. You've only ever really seen him wrestle those high flyer agility, 5-star Japanese, British strong style matches. You've just showcased 3 eras or 3 different styles of pro wrestling, and one of them is one realistically we've never seen Will Ospreay in. We've never seen Ospreay versus a giant. I think it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see it that way. I see it as if you're trying to break Ospreay away from the Callis family to stay on his own, having him take down the Don Callis family alone doesn't do anything for the Callis family.
But he's not booking these. This is Don Callis saying, "I want Will Ospreay versus this guy."
Right.
Callis is booking these matches.
But doesn't that show that he's not believing in his own guys that can actually produce matches? Like a Fletcher,
it creates tension. Either it creates tension, or in Colossus family, it iron sharpens iron, and I'm making my team better.
Right, exactly.
Getting more eyes on him.
What is the whole purpose of the BCC? How do you get into the BCC? You shed blood. You fight and you shed blood. BCC is a stronger stable because they were willing to fight each other, and if they're willing to hurt each other, imagine what they would do to you.
Right, but then what does
They'd
that
probably
do
kill you.
then for someone like Takeshita going forward? Now that he's had all of these matches with Ospreay under his belt, what does that do for him?
He
What does that
showcases
do
he's one of the best guys in the company. Takeshita,
Right, but what does
Takeshita looks
that
like when he
do
goes out
for
there, he
him?
literally just
Like one of the
tries to
top
hurt you.
5 in the company now, right?
Right, but what does that do for him?
It got him in the number
Got
one
him
contender match.
profile,
for the
yeah.
But he was going to lose that.
Yeah.
So what does that do for him?
It got him in the number 1 goddamn
When he
contender
was
match
losing
for the
that
AEW
match
World
because
title, which
he
he
swerved.
Do you
lost.
follow? Do you
But
follow
now
Color
he's higher
Sports?
profile than he was before already.
Will Ospreay's
Right,
gonna
but
have to win that
Swerve
number
was
one
winning that
against
match.
Swerve. Like, he has to do
Mhm.
that on his own.
Swerve had a story with Samoa Joe
Yeah.
stemming back from Revolution.
Yeah.
He was losing that match no matter what
Mhm.
because the story here is Swerve and Joe.
Yeah.
Mhm. Is it though?
Having Takeshita, yes. Having
Are you sure?
Takeshita, I say so. I know
What if
you're
what
going
if
to put me in my
what
place and tell me no.
what if
but
the story is Swerve and Ospreay in the future, and their common person is a Joe, is a Takeshita, where Swerve beat Takeshita, but also so did Will Ospreay, but like it's all matchup based. Like it's like the UFC. Just because you're a really good stand-up boxer, but I'm also a taekwondo, and then so Leo is a great mat wrestler, and Kay is a jiu-jitsu expert, and you know, everyone brings something different to the table, so every matchup is different. So it's not so much the wins and losses, it's how you, because I could be great and one of the best wrestlers in the world, but my bugaboo could be a triangle choke, and I can't defend that at all. And
right,
no matter
but I'm
what,
not talking about wins and losses here. I'm talking about stories. I'm talking about
but
feuds.
the story is they kind of have a similar path, but they've never touched each other yet. And Ospreay's climbing his ranks, and Swerve's climbing his ranks, and that's your matchup eventually.
Right, but we could still build to that even alongside.
But
without them touching.
you're harping too much on the match to get to that point. Like you're like, well, what about this guy and what about that guy? Unfortunately, it's not about those guys right now. It's about the surrounding picture.
All right, I guess I don't know wrestling.
The overall goal is still, you still want to make your talent look good and look like they're credible people in the ring and that they can be some of the best in the world. Like Tony Deppen on the independent scene is considered one of the toughest guys in pro wrestling, but he's never been a world champion. He's never got to that level where but he's had marquee matches where you're like, Tony Deppen could be a guy who beats Moxley for the world championship. Tony Deppen's a guy who could do that, but he's never been to that thing. But he's a placeholder that know that where you stand in the company going through someone like him. And there's nothing wrong with that.
It's like my thought is just like we've had Takeshita prove time in and time out as someone that should be getting either a title opportunity or working towards a title opportunity. Yet he's given one in this number 1 contenders match against Samoa Joe. And I understand what you're saying, and it does make sense in the sense of same common ground of, hey, listen, I beat Takeshita and you beat Takeshita.
Yes.
We both had that same person that we had to hurdle over to get to our Joe, to get to our Hobbs, to get to our whoever. But after all of that is said and done, and we finally get that 3-4 months later on of Swerve and Ospreay, where does that leave people like Takeshita? Does he just stay in this whole cycle of, hey, I'm just going to be that guy that delivers 5 out of 5 matches, and that's that? Because if that's the case, then cool, great. Like, I could sit on that. I could be like, okay, cool. If that's what Takeshita's being booked as it seems, then all right, cool, fine. I could sit comfortably at night with that. But to somebody like me who's been enjoying what Takeshita's been doing and showcasing his true wrestling ability, not actually given a fair shot at a title opportunity is a little bit egregious. Like, this is a little crazier to not have
in the business of pro wrestling, though. When you're given a title, when you're given a title to get to the next level, there's more to being a champion than just being a good wrestler. You have to be marketable. You have to be something that when we take our world champion and put him on late night TV, we put him in magazines, they go do interviews, they go do this thing. There's got to be something about you that draws money to the company. Professional wrestling at the end of the day is gimmicked. It doesn't really come down to who's actually the best. It's who brings in the most cash. And that's essentially what your world champion has to be. They have to be a cash grab. So the cash is, so let's look at Chris Benoit. Sorry, we're bringing up a terrible name here. Chris Benoit in ring, there wasn't many better people than Chris Benoit. But Chris Benoit had the personality of a box of hammers. Like, you couldn't put Chris Benoit on morning radio to talk about how he's the world champion of a company. You can give him a short title run to say, hey, thank you for your accomplishments and all you've done, but you're not the person we put on the cups. You're not the person we put on the trailer. You're not the person we put on the on the merchandise. Takeshita's probably not that guy in an American market to do that with. Your Swerves, your Ospreys, they are. So in this business, it's not always about who the better talent is or who the greatest of all time is. It's also how you market yourself. And if you're someone that we put in front of a camera, are you going to be that guy? Like Matt Riddle, very talented. Austin Theory, really talented. But if you do a little digging on them and if they become world champions, when you're a world champion, more things are found out about you. And if you do some Google searches, maybe it's not the best person to put a title on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have those
Matt Riddle's history.
You have those elements. It's more, there's more than that than anything else. Like, so when you look at the business of pro wrestling, especially when someone's giving you a world championship spot, there's those factors come in. Like Asuka, amazing. But Asuka's not a money pool when it comes to as a champion, because she's not someone you can go out there. Io Sky, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, but they have to put somebody in front with Io Sky to be her mouthpiece, because she's not someone you can market it with. Now, if you're in a Japanese market and she can go out, maybe her charisma is through the roof, but her charisma doesn't translate to an American audience. You see what I'm saying? Like,
no, I do.
Like, so say UFC, for example, right now, Sean Strickland was a champion or was a champion. Sean Strickland only really, or Colby Covington only really talks to a certain audience because of what they're into outside of mixed martial arts. But they divide people because they're maybe very political, or they lean into certain things or say certain things that divide the company. Like Sean Strickland's out there saying some really crazy things about like cancel culture and people of communities and stuff like that. And he's a very dividing, polarizing factor in mixed martial arts. But in that industry, that's a real fight. You don't have the control of who wins your champion and who is your brand leader for your company. In WWE, you have and in pro wrestling, you have the opportunity to do so because it is predetermined. So if you're going to put somebody in the forefront of your company to carry your belt and represent your company, you want to do it with someone who has the clout to do so, but also that they can conduct themselves on a higher level to make you money as a champion. Bret Hart, great wrestler, but as a money champion, he struggled because, you know, when he would go do TV personalities, he was always just Bret Hart. But like Hogan and Cena, you put them on other things and they were cash grabs. Money flocked to them. The Rock, Stone Cold, they're money grabs. So it's not always about being the greatest in the ring. There's a business aspect to this.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. Who the fuck am I? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, that's just my take, or things that I have been told by people in the business.
You know, but that's how it's being booked. That's how it's being showcased. That's how it's being distributed to us. Like there is a 40-60 business overbooking when it comes to who's going to be the face of said company, said division.
If you look at AEW right now, a lot of their champions are older guys who have been in the business for a long time and know how to conduct themselves. They're not doing it because they're like, give it to the older guys because something just fell off your wall. But but also, like, a lot of these older guys are out here teaching this younger talent that are coming up, like your Nick Waynes and your Acclaims and all that. Like, here, like, they're teaching them the business aspect. They already have the in-ring down. Now we got to teach you how to conduct yourself in the business. And that's where your older guys in your locker room are supposed to be there to help the next generation.
Well, clearly I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Like, I agree with you. I think Takeshita is very, very good. And I think it sucks that, but there's a very possibility that you will never see Takeshita as a world champion. And it's not because of lack of his abilities or skills. It's because of the business aspect of, is he marketable to make money as your world champion?
All right.
Lady Frost is on. Everyone relax.
Well, this is about to be a squash match.
I hope not. 'Cause I think, like I said, I think both of these are very, very talented. And I think this could be a show stealer, to be completely honest with you.
Hopefully. But sometimes how they do they're not long.
I'll put it this way. If Lady Frost comes in and gets offense on Thunder Rosa and actually shows that she's hurting Thunder Rosa, I would not be shocked if you see Lady Frost as All Elite.
Oh, don't give me. Oh, I would like to see that.
It's Queen. You would look at like people like Queen or Willow or Billy Starks when they came in and they were starting to get offense on Jade and they were starting to like almost win matches. They were going to be signed, but when they came in and they just got squashed, but like independent talent gets squashed, you're like, okay, that was an enhancement match.
Yeah.
What do we think of fashion for Lady Frost?
Love it.
Cape that she comes out with like the snow leopard head. And like I didn't see it today, but like sometimes the eyes glow blue
On her cape.
and the head is awesome.
We need to rearrange this again. This is
I was
annoying.
actually thinking about it after you're done. I'm moving my desk over there. Your desk. The desk.
She's been around for a minute. Lady Frost is out of the Pittsburgh area, and she's married to a wrestler named the Violent Gentleman or the Savage Gentleman. They're both very, very popular. And he's insanely shredded and ripped up. But they've been doing this a long time. What do you think of Thunder Rosa's full face paint now, not going half and half?
I love it.
It's something different. It's something that does freshen up her presentation.
I have a bit where I say if you wear black and gold, you're statistically higher to win a match, and Thunder Rosa's rocking black and gold.
Thunder Rosa always wears black and gold.
Not always.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't.
Not always.
Usually, let me rephrase that. Every time, every match that I have watched in the past year of Thunder Rosa, she has worn black and gold.
Remember that Britt Baker match she was in where they bled like animals?
Yeah, that was awesome.
She wore green.
That wasn't in the past year, though, was it?
But I'm saying the matches you've watched you watched that in the past
But I'm
year.
talking about
Since her return, she's wore black and gold gear. Since coming back from injury, she's wore black and gold gear. I would agree with you. Good spinning neck breaker.
Yeah.
I think we're seeing a new signed wrestler tonight. I don't think she's winning, but I think they're gonna sign a new wrestler tonight.
Because she is putting on a show and she's at least getting offense, like you said, yeah.
Well, a lot of times in the past, my criticism of Lady Frost has been just using acrobatics where they're not necessary. You know?
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. She definitely leans on that. Her athleticism.
I mean, she's very good at the acrobatics, but sometimes it
doesn't make sense in like the wrestling.
It doesn't make sense, in the wrestling match to use.
So there was one right there where she did a little bit of gymnastics and the Thunder Rosa took her head off. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
And I don't know if it's been her opponents. Like I first saw her on Ring of Honor.
Yeah, she does a lot.
And I thought that she was much more consistent with like in-ring ability in her Ring of Honor matches. And so I don't know if it was the people that she's been booked against in AEW, but like there have been a few matches where I'm like, this is not the same woman that I've seen before, you know, and so I mean I think one of them was possibly Julia Hart, who I think is improving, but is not quite there. So much it might just be like when she wrestles like more unexperienced people. But this match has been going well. I just hope her consistency, if she comes to AEW, goes back to what it was when she was in Ring of Honor more regularly.
Yeah. I mean, I like her. I think she has a ton of potential. I just think she needs to work.
Can we highlight Temple Plays? Not the comment here.
That better.
Takashita beat Omega and Jericho twice, has not sniffed a title yet. I would book Takashita versus Okada at Wembley. I like that matchup. Takashita shows he beats a class act like Okada. I don't hate that booking at all. I'd love to see Takashita versus Okada. One of the best guys in Noah takes on one of the best New Japan guys in a different company. I think that's a great booking.
Yeah, so that's on a big stage, like a Wembley for sure.
I said last year or late last year that I think your Wembley matchup is going to be Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay, and then when the injury with Adam Cole and everything happened, I thought they're going to swerve it and they're going to prolong it. But it looks like they're sticking to the course of Swerve Strickland being the champion very, very soon.
True.
Mm.
I think the MJF Adam Cole storyline will be told without a title, which I don't hate that either. Not every major story needs to have a belt involved.
Yeah.
That's where you need more feuds that don't need a title.
I think AEW does that very well. I think there's a lot of storylines that AEW put together that don't have title implications.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
For a company that everyone says is going to be gone in a year and they don't know how to book and they have no storylines, I watch every week and I pull at least 6 or 7 stories and I think they consistently move them forward throughout the week into a pay-per-view. I think people let their tribalism speak sometimes.
I mean, AEW has changed a lot too, at least since I've been watching, which I guess how long have I been watching? Like 2 years, 3 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Because when I first started watching, like, I don't give a shit about stories. Like, I like good wrestling. I don't care about that. And so, like, I loved that AEW didn't have stories. And I think for people that gave AEW a chance when they first started and had that complaint, I think they're still complaining about that without giving them another chance now that they've rectified that issue.
Yeah. Well, I do think that AEW still finds a way to scratch that itch of being like, oh, remember that, this matchup you didn't think you wanted? Here's a really good showcase match that we're just going to throw at a Dynamite and we're going to shock you with it. Like last week's Dynamite. Last week's Dynamite gave us 2 matchups. You're like, in any other realm, this is a pay-per-view matchup.
Yeah.
And they let them go out there and put on a pay-per-view style matchup on a Wednesday night.
I've been watching AEW for a while. I would say, I think I started watching AEW like in 2019.
I mean, I started since day one. I came in.
Yeah, it's crazy. People be like, "Who was the one person that made you, start to watch AEW?" I kind of just wanted to always watch something different than WWE and kind of see what more that's out there. But what really brought me into AEW is one of my favorite wrestlers who was new to AEW, John Moxley, because he is one of my favorites. And seeing him over there, but it really. And I see Dylan shaking his head over there. Let me finish before you.
Dylan's canceled. Don't let his opinion come into this.
But through that, it introduced me to seeing more from your Kenny Omegas and your MJFs. It brought
I think Thunder knocked the wind out of Lady Frost.
Other guys that I didn't even know anything about until they got to AEW, but going back and seeing their rise to where they are now, going through the indies and being through different promotions, it's just kind of cool to see.
Dude, I think that drop kick on the second rope legit knocked the wind out of Lady Frost. Yeah, Thunder Rosa had to get off the cover because she couldn't kick out.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest critiques of Thunder, that she was getting a lot of heat backstage with, is she was like, they were saying she was sandbagging people and she was stiffing people. And it was causing a lot of rifts with Thunder Rosa. Like that was some of the rumors with where Jamie Hayter cornered her in a bathroom stall and was going to beat the dog shit out of her.
You ain't getting out of here without fighting.
Jamie Hayter's one of those chicks who was brought into Japanese dojos and was taught how to legit fist fight, and then taught how to pro wrestle. Like Jamie Hayter's a monster.
Her back broke.
I like Lady Frost sells too. I think her facial expressions are really good. Those long shoelaces are driving me bananas on Thunder Rosa though. There it is. That was a good matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a solid matchup. And she does all her own makeup too, Thunder Rosa. That's all her.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
I wonder how long they're gonna do this cool down. So I know the other women are ready and they want to come back, but they're trying not to hit you too many at one time when it comes to returns. So Hayter and Britt Baker are very close, but they're still waiting for that cool down phase of Mercedes.
Yeah, I'd
Oh, I
say
can't.
maybe they'll
I
bring
can't do
one
my
at Double
Tony
or
cam.
Nothing.
It's not my. It's not my. I have a. So when I'm on, when I do my streams, I turn my camera black and black and white, and then I have a little banner that goes around my thing. That's my Tony cam. I
Sorry.
can still do this though.
There you go.
Dear.
We'll put you on the big screen. All right,
Tony
there
cam.
you go. Tony cam.
Whoa!
I see myself in you, and I love me.
That's awesome.
Okay,
He should have retired as champion. Because
I know the fans are gonna love this one. They're gonna have a field day with this one.
what do you think about that? Then a lightning
What the fuck?
He should have retired as champion. Because you will never get to sniff this leather again. Now, child, you mouth the words, I'll do the voice. Sit down and watch for the show.
She's killing it. She's so goddamn good.
Yeah, she's very talented.
So
like,
goddamn good.
she knocks out of the park every time.
I think Mariah May's the one to beat her.
I really think I think it's either her, but I wouldn't throw Jamie Hayter out of the realm of possibilities of it happening.
Oh, there you go. Right there on commentary. Nigel McGuinness says iron sharpens iron within the Don Callis family.
Young Bucks.
You see Jamie Hayter return at Dynasty? I wouldn't hate that.
I'd save it for Double or Nothing.
I think the winner of the tag team tournament can come out of this matchup right here.
I think Top Flight might be my dark horse. I think that's kind of who I kind of want to see win because I feel like they've been there for a long time, and I feel like they're kind of owed a tag team title run.
I think Orange Cassidy's going to get some other titles because he's probably not going to be a world champion anytime soon.
Yeah, so many rampages.
Joe has been killing it though. I'm so happy with Joe in AEW. His match at Wembley was my favorite with Punk.
He dropped the ball with him. Like he should have been world champion. It still baffles me.
It's so fucking lame.
I think this is like this is the pacing match. This is like when you need to have like a calm down or a pre-show style thing. I don't think it's a horrible match. Like story wise, I see where you're coming from, but you're trying to tell a more important story with other people, and I think that's why you put other champions in mixed tags just to kind of showcase other championship matches more.
I'll be honest. If I had control of a wrestling promotion, I'd book so differently. With a lot
would every pay-per-view be only champions?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's what a lot of people say is like, oh, my pay-per-views would only be showcased for champions.
No, that's the dumbest thing to do. Because if every pay-per-view is that predictable, there's no reason to have a high turnover of champions. Or a turnover of champions, period. A lot of my pay-per-views and a lot of the shows would be story builds to story endings or story continuations that can eventually lead to a good championship match. And the pay-per-views names would make those title opportunities more significant. Not being Backlash. Of course, he lost at WrestleMania. Now he has his opportunity. No.
Those backyard matches that he did. So when I was talking to Griffin McCoy was like, yo, we were 14, 15 years old, traveling all over the country, going backyard to backyard to do backyard shows. And it was him, Jordan Oliver, Nick Wayne, Marcus Mathers, all meeting in different backyards, working each other. And he said, our one backyard fed got so popular that Will Ospreay flew from London to our backyard fed in some place in Northeast part of the country and wrestled in their backyard with them. Like, that's bonkers to me.
Yeah.
And now all of them are like killing it on the scene.
That's wild.
Honestly, with their history, I would like to see Okada and Ospreay kind of go at it again. Maybe for the Continental title or something.
I think the build's eventually going to be to Kenny returning and going after Okada.
Yeah, it does seem that way. It does.
Just depends how long it takes for Okada for Kenny to get okay. I'm actually nervous. I'm nervous about Kenny Omega though, because his last injury was so bad. Like he contemplated retiring. He's like, "Yo, I hate this physical." He said that physical therapy was so bad that he just hates being hurt, and he just like it messes with him mentally. He struggled really hard mentally with his last injury.
Oh, this match.
That's the main event. What's the
The Righteous and Lance Archer.
I love Lance Archer.
I like Lance Archer, but I do not care for the Righteous.
Did Swerve and Takeshita happen already?
No.
That's amazing.
Lance Archer, super nice guy.
Yes, this is my thing. So Lance Archer, I think, should not be a heel because he has kind eyes.
Oh, he's so personable.
Like he has like smile lines. Like he looks like someone you'd meet at like a Fish concert who's like making sure you have enough water. That is how I picture Lance Archer in my head.
But
you know who I feel about that as well? Who I think is too good to be a heel, and I think if you made him a babyface, and people are gonna fucking hate me for this, but after meeting him and hang out with him for many hours, and then anytime you see him off camera and he's not in character, he's the most personable human on the planet. Killer Cross should be a babyface, and he should probably lean into comedy. He's insanely charismatic.
Yeah, because he is a nice guy. Killer Cross is a nice guy.
Karrion Kross. Sorry.
Yeah.
Insanely funny and insanely charismatic. Insane. And he's a dude. I've been with so many wrestlers during meet and greets where women are just like in awe of people. I've never seen people go as hard as they did for Karrion Kross.
Because he looks like he could legit kill you, but has the.
No, he's just a handsome dude. Like he's like him and Drew McIntyre are like the guy on the cover of the book of those books that you think are like fantasy books, but they're completely not for women. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you're reading those books, and you're like, oh, she's reading about dragons. No, she's not. and the cover of the books are Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross. I think overall, I'm pretty happy you guys invited me, and Dylan talked me into watching Collision tonight. This has been a fun show.
Yeah,
I'm happy you came.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it, but I'm glad I did.
It's a good thing I had that epiphany in the shower.
You did. You called it.
Fucking show.
WWE dropped their KO Mania shirt for this year.
KO7?
Yeah.
You copy?
I don't have any money. I don't have any of the KO Mania shirts. Eventually, I'll find a website who does them second print, and I'll reorder them all when I get a job again. But
how much is the shirt?
I don't know. But it's all three of them on the poster, and it's like the poster, but then it's like duct taped, and then KO duct tape over Wrestle, and it says KO Mania. And then it's Randy Orton, red marker says he's cool, and then it goes that's me. And then Logan Paul has like devil horns and stuff dribbling, and it just says the worst. It's not like the best shirt ever, but it's the new shirt.
Send it on Discord. I'm gonna go look at it. Is it under what is it? Under WWE Shop?
It was WWE Shop on Instagram. I'm on Instagram.
Yeah. All right, send it to me on Instagram.
I love his new music is really growing on me. I love it.
Who?
Danielson's.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
They said the main event.
This is.
That's what they just said. I don't know. This is the main event, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank God, because I'm getting tired.
Same. I've had a long day.
I got a video game stream tonight. If anyone's interested watching, I'll be doing. Me and Lily, if she stays awake, she's crocheting over here. She's going hard in the paint. We're gonna be. We might take a couple minutes after the stream and rearrange the room. because she's complaining because I sit up and I'm on my computer and then I block the TV, so we have to rearrange everything again. But we're gonna do a stream and we're gonna be playing The Quarry. So The Quarry is kind of like a cinematic horror game.
I
and
heard. I like.
And the
you're gonna
chat
like,
is gonna, the chat can like say, oh, do you want to do this action or this action? And we're gonna like let the chat interact of what we should do, and then based on your pick, is if your character survives the night or whatever. It's like a horror movie game, and then based on your actions, they said there's like over 165 different endings, which is kind of bonkers.
is.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah,
You got David Arquette in there.
yeah. It's all like legit actors who are like scanned for a video game, and they're all acting and playing out this horror movie. And then based on your decisions is how the game changes. So I think it'd be a lot of fun to do a stream of it. We're gonna try it out tonight.
That's cool. Yeah. Man, I gotta subscribe to the video game magazine. I need to know what's going on.
You could just ask me. I could just tell you what's going on.
Just ask you. I'm so
I know.
out of the fucking loop,
Listen,
man.
I listen. Kind of funny every fucking day, so I know what the fuck's going on. You know what I mean?
In video games? Yeah. We're now game share buddies, me and Dylan.
Yeah.
Now we have over 500 games between the two of us.
Yeah, we're fucking naughty boys. You know what I mean? We're naughty boys.
It's the best feature you can do if you own a video game system. If you're trying to game on a budget, only one person has to have Game Pass, and the other person has to have Xbox Live, and you're golden.
Listen, Asa, I'll even get another Xbox just to do that with you. So that way I could do it on 2 different fucking devices.
Say what?
You don't have to do that, Dylan. That's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Well, Kay, do you play video games too?
I do, yeah.
So what you guys do? So what you guys do is you do it between your systems, and you only have to buy the game once. So if you both want to play a game together, but you have to buy 2 copies of it. So what you do is you log into, you both have an Xbox or a PlayStation. It works for PlayStation 2. You log in under one of you log in on one system, one you log into the other, and then you make that home Xbox your one profile, make your other Xbox the other profile, and then log out and then log into your actual accounts of the opposite person. And then any game that's bought under one account goes to the other one for free.
Automatically.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, ABJ, it's 66 total for two of the Kevin Owens double XL shirts.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that.
Why? We could both rock them.
I have a lot of t-shirts. I'm good.
I need to get the. I got to get that rock slapping Cody
have another
shirt.
one.
See what comes in the mail tomorrow.
I got
What?
Dylan, me and you got to get the rock.
It's coming in the mail tomorrow.
What's coming in the mail?
Something's coming in the mail tomorrow.
That's the one.
Something's coming in the something is coming in the mail tomorrow for you.
Me?
I hate that.
And something is coming in the mail tomorrow for myself.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What about me? What the fuck? What am I
I'm
getting?
sorry, you're gonna have to talk to I guess get yourself a sugar daddy. I'm not really sure.
Oh my
I can't.
goodness. This is the only part about becoming a content creator that I just get really like. I suck at receiving gifts. I will run and hide if so, like I've been in places where like, yo, just take a championship belt off the wall. You could have it. I'm like, oh, cool, thanks, and then I just leave because I get really
I
weird.
would feel terrible about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a funny story. Last week when you were talking about doing a PO box, and then there were multiple people saying, hey, when are you gonna get that PO box? And you're like, eventually I got a message shortly after that, like, okay, if he's not getting one, I need the address.
Oh boy.
All right,
Okay.
So Papa Dill is down two tall boys. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down and grab a beer for this this video game stream.
Yeah, definitely need to.
I want Righteous backstory with like cult information.
I think you might get it if you look at past Ring of Honor stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remember when everyone thought this one dude in the Righteous was gonna be Captain Howdy?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the dude with the dreads. They thought he was Captain Howdy for the
Vincent?
longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love him. If he was an actual cult leader, I would totally join that cult.
No,
Yeah.
not. You can't join.
That's
the
my
cult.
plan.
You can
If
join the
ever
cult
die,
of
I'll join
ABJ.
the cult.
So you're telling me I need gray dreads, and that my cult would be more successful.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely.
Get the
All
Rob
right.
Zombie hair going on. You're
And you gotta
halfway there.
snap. You have to be able to snap in rhythm too. That's also part of it.
Oh, rhythm.
Oh,
Yikes.
Game changer there.
That sucks being white, you know. I don't got that rhythm. No rhythm.
But you got soul, so it's okay.
Here's my new T-shirt that I'm wearing around Philly. It's the Always Sunny font.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Shiny, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my color scheme's black and gold. I'm not a Steelers fan. I just like black and gold. I think they're cool colors. It was my high school team colors.
I don't think I really was Steelers colors were black and gold. I thought that was the Saints. Or is it both
The
of them?
Saints are also black and
touche.
gold.
No,
Yeah.
no, I'm with her on this.
Saints are black and gold.
No,
Steelers are
shut up.
yellow
Let
and
me-
black. Black and
Exactly.
yellow. Yeah.
You're wrong.
But yellow and gold, they're kissing cousins, you know.
No, gold is the
Someone's
is the
kissing
color
cousin.
of luxury. Yellow is the color of pee-pee.
Listen, don't kink shame.
I wasn't kink shaming. I'm just stating colors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know much about Vincent's partner though.
Dutch is his name.
Yeah.
He doesn't kink shame.
Look at Claudio, just an
And
animal.
he's probably kissing his cousin.
The match that we all wanted was him versus Gunther on a pay-per-view. We never got it.
What match?
Claudio versus Gunther would have been a hard-hitting match if they would have done it.
You know why we didn't get it? Because Claudio knew his worth, and it wasn't in the WWE.
I mean, true, but I'm just saying that would have been a good match regardless. But
So if you can add anyone to the BCC right now, who would it be?
Serena
Kyle
Deeb.
O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly. Who was yours, Kay? Oh, your mic's muted. Your mic's muted, and the mic you were using the other mic there. You're still muted. Can't hear you. Oh no! Disaster.
Okay, sorry, we're having technical difficulties. I can hear and talk now. Serena
Yeah.
Deeb is who yeah.
Serena Deeb. Oh, you put a woman in the BCC.
Yeah.
Okay.
I second that.
Serena Deeb. I would add, if he doesn't resign and he leaves, I would add Sheamus, or I would bring in Shelton Benjamin.
What?
What do you mean? The BCC is all about like combat, beating the shit out of people, like brute guys. Could you imagine Claudio and Sheamus doing the bar stuff again as the BCC members?
No, and I want to
Be
see.
Dude, the bar was
WWE
awesome.
2.0.
Yeah, the bar was awesome.
and it's crazy. People never thought that team would work, but it turned out better than anybody could have ever expected.
It's because you put two megastars and let them actually work. Sheamus and Claudio are goats. Oh, Dutch just took his nice header off the.
I don't know if Shelton Benjamin is on the same.
You like
level
if
as
he was if he was
Shelton
in
has that
AEW
technical mat wrestling skills. That's where
If
he
he
would
was-
shine.
If
I've
he was
only ever seen
in
him in WWE, and I haven't
Mhm.
been like forever.
if this guy was
I can see
actually in AEW,
I can see it.
I could see this.
No thanks.
If this guy was in AEW,
No thanks on all of that.
I'd say Gunther. Gunther would be a crazy addition to them.
So do you know where the BCC, like why they say the BCC because of Regal and stuff? Like, do you know the
Yeah.
history to it?
No.
So
Fine.
the way William Regal got broken into pro wrestling is he was a legit shooter. So back in the day, they would have like almost like a carnival where they're like, who can get in the ring and wrestle this guy? And it was William Regal, but William Regal was like 15 or 16 years old, and he would mat wrestle grown men carnival style that would just come out of the ring. Like, and William Regal would beat the dog shit out of these grown ass men. And he just like was tough. He was just tough as hell. And he was doing it since a young age. And it was just
Mhm.
like that mat wrestling grind, cross faces, beat the dog crap out of you. And that's essentially how William Regal broke into the wrestling business as like a technical dude and like was known as a legit tough guy. Cause like he legit would fight, you know what I mean? Like he was wild.
That's cool.
Eric, I like that take. Matt Riddle's is interesting. If he
I'm good on Matt Riddle. You can,
I mean he's a good wrestler, but his personality
yeah,
he's a good wrestler, but like I don't know. No. I like his wrestling. He's a good wrestler, don't get me wrong, but no.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some of the stuff I've heard. I'm not a huge fan.
Yeah, like Daniel Garcia. Wolf
I wouldn't
said.
mind Garcia.
I even wanted to see that, but I don't think they're gonna do it. If I feel like the time is kind of past for them to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like really pumped for this movie. I'm not gonna lie.
What, Godzilla?
Yeah, Godzilla King Kong. I love monster movies.
I
Well,
might
I
go
think
see it
I think the
tomorrow.
big monster that they fight in this movie isn't being shown yet. I don't think they're just fighting that one ape. I think there's something else that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
It's me.
I might go see it tomorrow. I
I want Mech Godzilla. So remember in the other ones where they said they found like the skeletons of Godzilla and they're finding their DNA and they've been finding all these dead Godzillas. I want them to take the DNA and the skeleton system of a Godzilla and make Mech Godzilla and then have Mech Godzilla in like versus Godzilla. Like I want that so bad. Sammy Callahan put him in the BCC. Interesting.
Isn't he a free agent right now?
Yes, he just left, but he's a free agent. But he's really focusing on his promotion. Wrestling Revolver, I think is right.
Yeah,
I think that's
his promotion.
Did everybody just have that ragu commercial?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoever uses ragu on their food and calls himself Italian,
you ready for this?
need to be excommunicated off of this fucking planet.
So we had dinner today. We had
And if you
Tony
tell
had
me you use
lasagna.
ragu,
Tony had lasagna. I had meatballs, both
Okay.
made by an Italian woman, aka Mama Blackwell.
She's not Italian.
right.
Whatever. It was all made with ragu.
Yeah, she's not Italian.
Okay, but she's not
She's
Italian.
Irish.
so
She's Irish.
She gets
She's
the
Irish.
pass. Right.
Yeah.
And she gets the pass.
I'm Italian Irish. My dad's Italian, but she's using an old school Italian recipe from my grandmother, but she didn't have the time or patience.
That's
Hold on.
blasphemy.
She didn't have the time or the energy or the skill to make the homemade sauce, so she buys ragu.
Yeah.
That's
Blasphemy.
fire.
Sometimes she gets prego.
I can deal with ragu and prego if that's how you're making your food. I can live with that.
Yo, is it edible?
But if you tell me that you on purpose go to Olive Garden for food when you can go to any mom or pop Italian place, I can't respect that.
Can I tell you something?
Here we go, Dylan with the hot takes.
If I come to PA, we're going grocery shopping, and we're getting you actual, authentic, pre-made Italian sauce, but we're also going to make you a couple of vials of it.
Oh man!
Until you're empty, and then you could use up that backup shit. Okay. I'm Sicilian.
My grandmother was Sicilian.
I love this.
I'm Sicilian.
We have to go to an Olive Garden.
I'm gonna tell you what. If you come to Pennsylvania, I want to take you to all my favorite mom and pop Italian places and let you try
And I'm
Pennsylvania
going to put
pizza.
on all the weight that I'm losing right now with this job.
Yeah,
and I can't wait.
I need you to experience pizza in Northeast Pennsylvania that like is not New York pizza and tell me.
Yeah.
But don't be a
No, I'm not
Long
gonna be a
Island
dick.
scum
I'm not
about
gonna be a
it.
dick.
Like
I'm not gonna be
actually
a
like come in open minded. Don't be like
Oh, yeah,
no
no,
matter
listen.
what, it's not gonna be New York. I don't want to hear that.
That's pretty good.
Close impression. You know. No, I 100%. I'm totally down. And
you know what?
I will
Dylan,
give
I'll
you
make a
I will
deal
give you a non Dave Portnoy fucking take.
All right.
All right. Like, and not like, oh, it's not floppy enough. I don't like it really burnt on the bottom.
Yeah, it's essentially his take on what he likes of pizza. I like doughy or floppy or dough. That's my personal take.
I'll be
I like
honest.
floppy pizza. Yeah.
The dough, and I'll be honest. Like, and I worked at a pizzeria for 10 years. I've made pizza. I made food in the back. I know how to make dough, cut cheese correctly. Like, actually, I know how to.
Have you ever had sweet sauce pizza?
I have, but it wasn't from a good place.
Our area is like the sweet sauce.
And that's
we're very
what
sweet sauce
sucks,
around here.
because I don't know what they fucking use in there. I think because
You just add sugar to get rid of the acidity.
So
And
I'll be
jelly.
honest, it all is based. Go ahead.
Some of the places around here, most of them use jelly.
That's fair. I was just saying, not all the time.
Yeah. They put jelly in the sauce. That's what gives it the sweet taste.
Oh.
And I tell you now, that's upsetting.
I don't know.
It's so good though.
I could imagine.
So Dylan, I'll make you a deal. If you visit us up here,
You just gotta
Tony
tell
will
me
take you.
when you're available.
Tony will take you to all the Italian places.
And I'm buying.
I'm still fully expecting we'll can. I know how to can, so we'll can a bunch of sauce, for the year. You show us how to make it, and I'll show you how to make some authentic Mexican food.
I'm gonna go to Restaurant Depot by me, and I'm gonna get you fucking cases of fucking real authentic tomatoes that are ready to go out of a can, and we're gonna go down. We're gonna get a big ass fucking pot, and we're gonna make you a fucking sauce. All right. And then when you take a piece of bread and you go, oh, let me try it out. It's probably gonna be bullshit because it's from Long Island. You're gonna try it, and your whole body is just gonna be oozing jizz. You're gonna be,
oh my gosh,
all right.
Oh my god,
this is food I'll never ever eat again.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
I'll never ever.
What you're describing, I've definitely. It's not like I've never had authentic.
Right.
No, I know
sauce.
you've had
you know what I mean?
authentic sauce.
Yeah.
But
listen, all the gangsters from New York, when they didn't live in New York, they did business in New York. Actually, they lived in New York and they did their business in Pennsylvania because there was less eyes on them.
Yeah.
Did you ever see what the hell was that movie that was just on Netflix?
Oh, that helps.
The last Scorsese movie, The Irishman. The Irishman essentially took place here, like around here, because everybody, all the businessmen from Jersey, New York, and Pittsburgh would all meet in Northeast Pennsylvania in the coal holes because there was no police, no watching, no nothing, and this is where all the deals went down. And and there's a lot of coal holes and stripping pits that if something were to fall in, and the way the earth moves all the time because there are coal holes, you'll never find anything. So they would put a lot of evidence in
and we're
coal
making
holes.
real Italian bread. You are gonna be fed for a while. You're gonna be on stream going, God damn. I'm sorry.
I've had Alfredo sauce instead of like tomato sauce, which is not bad.
We'll get you real Alfredo sauce. Let Dylan come through. All right. We'll make
Alfredo sauce is
we're gonna make all
y'all sleeping
the fucking planet. All right.
What?
That's what we're gonna do.
Wait. Here's a question. How do you make your pesto? Let's hear the
I
pesto
don't
talk.
make pesto.
So you don't do like a linguine and pesto, like a shrimp linguine and pesto?
No, I'm
real fast. What's happening now is what happens on ABJ Hangout where wrestling's on and we talk nothing about wrestling. So I'm very sorry. All right, I'm just making sure.
We do this all the time. We do this all the time. We talk about video games.
Oh, that's Irish and Shibata squaring off.
But
so K and K is it Asa? Am I saying that right? Right. Asa. So Asa and K, you guys are North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And Leo, where are you from again?
Texas, Houston.
Texas.
Okay. I'm from Texas.
I visited and stayed. They were very nice, very gracious enough to let me into their home with their beautiful puppy, and had a great time staying at their house for 2 nights. With everything and going to Greensboro and get to see old Salem, Winston-Salem, really.
Nice.
That like Salem area.
I went to North Carolina once. So back in the day,
I almost died,
I was obsessed with NASCAR. Well, and the only reason I was into it because my dad was into it, and if my dad was into it, that was our bonding way, was NASCAR. And we live by Pocono Raceway. So we used to do Pocono every year. And then a couple times we went to Martinsville, and then we went to Richmond. And then my dad's like, where do you want to go? And I was like, yo, the NASCAR Hall of Fame, like all the drivers' garages, like everything of NASCAR is in North Carolina. And it's all by the Coca-Cola 600, the North Carolina Speedway. That's where I want to go. The week before we go to the track, they have a footbridge that crosses over the highway to get to the track. It collapsed and a bunch of people got hurt and died and stuff. It was pretty crazy. So that was kind of a big deal the week before we went, but I don't know if they still do it, but the week of the Coca-Cola 600, they have the All-Star race. And that's when the bridge collapsed, was the All-Star race. But around the Coca-Cola 600 and the All-Star race, they do a giant block party, and it's like 9 city blocks in downtown Raleigh, North Carolina. And it's just bands and stages and music and just everything. And it was the craziest thing I ever experienced. And my dad's like, there's a stage here. He's like, well, we're standing right in front of the stage. No one's there yet. So we're posting up. And my dad's like, yo, who's playing? And they told the name of the band, and my dad's like, oh my God, I'm literally going to stand here and see this band for free in the middle of a street in North Carolina. And we were sitting there waiting. And I was just getting bored. And I was like, can we leave? And he's like, yeah, we'll get out of here. And we left. And then like 6 years later, I'm starting to get into music and old school rock and roll. And my dad's like, who are you listening to? And I was like, oh, there's this band, you know them. You're probably something you like. I just got really into them recently. Cheap Trick. I love Cheap Trick. I think they're a great band. He goes, you're a piece of shit. You know that, right? And I go, what? He goes, you know, you could have seen them for free in North Carolina. They played in the middle of the street during that NASCAR thing. And I was like, whoops. Yep. But that block party was the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And then we went to all the garages, and like every garage for team was like a giant museum, and you get to see all the cars. And we went to Earnhardt's garage and Rusty's garage. And if you're into NASCAR racing, like that is the place to be, is North Carolina.
Yeah. Me and my dad used to go to a bunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to go to like Charlotte and Martinsville. Yeah.
Yeah. Martinsville's my favorite track. Like, you
yeah.
see everything. There's always something happening in front of you.
Yeah, it's so small you can see everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Which is the one with bricks?
That's
That Bristol?
Indianapolis.
No.
Yeah,
Which-
well,
That's Carolina.
I tell you now,
Bristol's in one of the
Greensboro,
Carolinas.
Yeah. Bristol's in yeah.
Carolinas
Bristol-
is beautiful.
That's the only one I've been to. When I was driving the last time I drove from PA to Texas, I stopped to look at Bristol Speedway, and I'm almost certain is in
Bristol's the
Carolina.
one I've always wanted to go to. I wanted to do Bristol at night, but we never did it. But that's like a bucket list track for me. If I can go see a race, it would be Bristol at night. Richmond was awesome. I loved Richmond. Actually, the race I went to, if you're a NASCAR fan, I think he's retired now. He doesn't do it anymore. But I watched Matt Kenseth win his first ever NASCAR race at the Coca-Cola 600 in that track.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I never got into NASCAR because it's just cars going the same turn over and over and
No,
over.
it's not.
No,
No,
That's not true. There's a track where there's a right-hand
It's
turn.
not.
Okay.
Okay, so then there's one track that's a right-hand turn.
Match with cars.
Yeah.
So you know how when people go,
It-
oh, wrestling is just a bunch of dudes in their underwear grappling.
And there
Like, when you
are-
boil
and-
it down that much and make it sound stupid, anything's gonna like that. There is an art and there is a science to NASCAR. And it is
Yeah,
a very
absolutely. And
complex
it's
sport.
if you can make the left turn quicker than the other.
No.
opponents
And
that
there are
in the track.
road courses too, Dylan, that have like
Yes.
10, 12
That's not NASCAR, though.
turns. Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's not-
There is
that's
NASCAR. There is
Yes.
NASCAR.
People from
Yes,
New York aren't
yes.
impressed with NASCAR racing because they don't
Yeah,
drive cars up there.
The uncultured swine that they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, they take trains and buses everywhere. Like they don't know what it's
Right.
like.
We
to be in a
use the
car.
thing called public transportation.
I was waiting
Because
for
it was
the
invented
Timberlands
for a
and the
fucking-
Chevrolets.
You know what I
Put
mean?
this guy in a plane though; he'll shit his pants.
Oh no planes, no more planes ever again. Dropped 3,000 feet. I almost fucking died. The girl puked. I was crying. I was praying to God that.
Did you
Bailey
really
was
cry?
in his bed. Dude? I shit
I'm
you
sorry,
not.
it's not funny.
No, it is funny. When we started falling, I tried to call my mother on the plane going down, and I couldn't reach her because there's no fucking signal. 29,000 feet in the air. Thinking,
You have to drop
oh,
another 1,000 feet and then you're
oh,
good.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
put it in airplane mode.
20,000 feet in the air.
Yeah, airplane
and then
mode,
we
you can
get
make
signal
calls.
again. And I go, I'm looking at my phone, and I see, Bailey's my lock screen and my homepage. So I'm looking at her, and I was like, I love you so much. Like, you were the best
What a
dog
baby,
ever.
what a bitch.
And then all of a sudden, the pilot's like, well, that was a little unexpected, now wasn't it? And I'm like, you fucker. Like, you absolute piece of shit pilot. And then a woman charged the cockpit. A woman
remember
tried
you telling us
charging the
that.
cockpit.
Yeah, that's all. That'll solve the problems. Take out the one.
Two people
Start running.
Take
Two
out
people
the
bombed
one
me.
guy who can get you out of the situation.
Two people yacked. I had tears coming down my fucking face. Okay. One woman tried charging the plane. But the best part of this whole story is this girl that's sitting next to me. Shout out to the girl. Fell asleep before the plane took off. Finally, we land right in LaGuardia. And she goes, I wake her up because she's like,
Slept through the
fucking
whole everything.
dead asleep. And I wake her up and she goes, oh, that wasn't such a bad flight. Now, was it? And I'm like,
You're
yeah,
in tears.
I'm still fucking wiping.
She's like, why does the
tears."
plane smell like barf and shit?
Yeah. Dude, it
He's
was
like, that's
bad.
me. That was.
It-
I'm sorry,
yeah,
we almost died.
all body, just gave out. My whole body just gave out.
So were you in one of those real small prop planes where like you could almost touch both sides?
No. So the first plane I took going into Charlotte was a big plane, like a regular standardized plane. But I had a nun 2 rows back. So as the plane was shaking and rocking, I'm just staring at the nun who's just like minding her business with a rosary beads. Yeah, I was like, listen, are we gonna die? Like, let Jesus know, like I'm coming and make sure there's room. You know, where's my daddy? You know, like I'm trying to plot this whole thing.
She's a nun, not a medium.
Listen, she's whatever she wants, what I want her to be right now. All right. Like I was scared. And then on the way back, we're flying in a very narrow plane.
Yeah.
It's a smaller plane. I couldn't touch both sides if I wanted to, type of thing.
But was it like 6? Was it like 6? How many seats
2
were there
rows. It was 2 rows per person.
Yeah.
2 per person.
Yeah, they're called like prop planes or like smaller planes.
This plane should never have fucking took off. All right. Like I wanted an adult plane.
We took one of those. We took one of those to Atlanta, and then from Atlanta we got on a bigger plane and went to Vegas. And when we were on our incline, so we were going up. And when we were going up, those planes are more susceptible to air pockets because they are smaller and they hit an air pocket and it just drops. So it's like we're on our ascending, so we're like this, and then all of a sudden just went. And it was like the Tower of Terror in Disney, and everyone in the plane's like screaming, and I'm just like, all right, whatever, we're going down. There's nothing I can do about it now. And it's just that moment of everyone in fear, and then everything's okay, and you're just like, I wasn't that scared, bro. You're like,
yeah, no, I was petrified. I had tears. My body gave out.
You were crying, bro. You're like, you were crying too.
Yeah, no, I was profusely crying. I was like, I was more mad. I would have been mad to not see my mom anymore. But like, I was more upset that I wasn't going to say goodbye to Bailey, like my dog. I was more upset about not seeing her anymore than anybody else in this fucking house.
Oh.
That's the only.
I'd be more upset that I survived and I was like paralyzed the rest of my life, or like 14th degree burns and I was like a scarred up
cement
victim.
Blocks
the rest
on
of
my
my
feet,
life.
throw me in the canal, and that's it. You know, like I don't. No thanks. No thanks. Not at all. Don't want to live the rest of my life like that. No thanks. Cement blocks on my feet, right into the fucking canal. Call it a day. Like let me fucking go. Like if the plane couldn't get the job done, you call it a cheapie, and then you fucking throw it right into the fucking right in the fucking canal.
You've been like Ric Flair. You survived a plane crash.
No, I almost that wasn't a plane crash. That was a ride from hell. That was a ride back there and back fucking hell.
Oh,
but the
man,
worst part of it was,
I wish you filmed it. I wish you filmed the plane.
Oh, you would have. I would have been. It would have
been
been a fucking million views. Because there was only 2 people 4 rows up from me, and that was it. That was crime. Everybody else was just on their phones, on their fucking thing.
Dylan.
Yeah, I'm screaming. I'm like, oh my God. Fucking crying.
Yeah, there's something about pure fear that is just funny to me.
It is.
I'm sadistic. I don't know. When someone's legit scared for their life, it's funny because you're like, you're gonna be fine. It's not that serious.
I didn't think I was gonna be fine. Because here's the thing: before we took off, he tells us, listen, it's going to be a lot of turbulence. We're telling you all now to stay in your seat. Seatbelt light is going to stay on. Do not leave unless you need to go to the restroom. That's it. Like, don't leave your thing because if anything happens, you're susceptible to whatever happens. Like, I'm not your problem anymore. You're your own problem. And we get up. It's like the first 20 minutes. We're in the air. The one guy who's already having a panic attack at the airport is still huffing and puffing in a fucking brown bag. The pilot goes, oh, it looks like we passed the turbulence. It's going to be a very smooth flight. Mind you, we're still in the fucking tip part of North Carolina in Virginia. So as we're going into Virginia.
How long was your plane ride? Like 30 minutes?
45-ish, close to an hour, but it felt like 3 days. You know what I mean? It felt like an absolute.
Bro, imagine flying to London. You're 9 hours.
I'm never going by boat, by truck. by huskies, by a submarine, dude, I'll swim to London.
So when I was on my plane to London, I wanted to put a movie on, but I wanted to put a movie on that like I didn't really give a shit about because I wanted to sleep, which was a terrible idea. I should have stayed awake the whole flight, but I fell asleep. But I was like, oh, I want to listen to I want a movie, but I want to also listen to music. And I was looking through, and I was like, oh, Rocket Man is on, and I'm going to London. Like, this is great. I'm like Wembley Stadium. Like, that's what I'm going for. So I put Rocket Man on. I forgot about the orgy scene. So I realized like I'm sleeping and there's a giant orgy happening on the front of my seat, and everyone like around me is watching an orgy with no context. And then somebody like nudged me and they're like, yo, what are you fucking watching, man? I was like, oh, my bad. It's Rocket Man. It's Elton John. Like, okay. And then I was like, well, if they're offended by that, now I'm putting on Bohemian Rhapsody. So I put on Bohemian Rhapsody for the next movie on the way. And on the way home, I was like, oh, they had different, like we had Guardians of the Galaxy on our first plane. And I was like, I hope Guardians on the next one, because I want to stay awake the flight home. So I need a movie to watch, and I haven't seen Guardians yet. That's how I'm going to watch it. We get on the next plane, no Guardians. I'm like, shit, what am I going to watch? Yeah. And everything on there was like stuff I've seen before. So I was like, all right, I'll just put on, what did I pick? Oh, I picked two longer movies. I picked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love a great movie. I love it. Completely forgot. So I'm flying out of Germany, from Germany to Pennsylvania. I forgot that there's a whole scene in that movie where they go to a Nazi encampment and burn it down. So I'm in Germany, flying out of Germany with Germans, and on my screen is Nazi flags and a flamethrower just lighting them all on fire. And I'm just like, I guess I didn't read the room on this one.
Yeah.
And then I watched Black Panther. So that were my two movies for my plane
That's
ride.
funny. I tried to
9
watch,
hours on a plane. You're just like, oh my God. Like if I had to do more than that, I'd probably be, I would need Dramamine or something.
Yeah. I wish I took Dramamine.
My mom and I flew to London when I was like in college, and the seat that she sat in, the person who sat there before her urinated in it.
Nice.
And so she sat in like a seat full of urine, and then got up and was like, oh my God. But all of her clothes were like in her luggage under the plane. And so she has to sit for 9 hours in pants that somebody else had peed.
Christ.
Oh,
delicious.
Yeah. So
that
always
sucks.
check your plane seat. That's my
Did she get a towel? Did she get a towel to
Yeah,
sit on?
they gave her like some paper towels, and they moved her to a different seat. But at that point, like her pants
You're
were
soaked through.
Pee.
Yeah, that sucks.
Now you're just
I'd be
spreading
pretty-
the urine.
Oh my God.
I'd be upset by that. I'd be pretty pissed.
Yeah, so always check your seat for pee before you get on the plane.
Definitely will do that going forward.
I'll never have to worry about that because I'm never taking a plane.
No, we're flying to London for All In.
We're not. I'm not. You could be.
You
can
fine.
video chat me.
You
be
just
like,
take a
hey,
boat,
look, man,
Dylan.
I'm on a plane.
Take a boat, Dylan. We'll take a boat with you.
I'll take a boat. I'll take a taxi. I'll take a fucking submarine.
We'll take a boat.
I'll take.
You want to take a
I
stub?
don't think the taxis. You could try to see if the ferry from Long Island will take you all the way, but I don't think the taxi
I
is
don't
going to
think
get
you
you
want.
there.
I don't think you want to be in a ferry in the open water. That seems scarier than a plane ride.
You're
Grounded.
talking about a boat from the United States to London,
We're
and you
talking
think that any
grounded.
kind of a boat is a good idea?
We're
Bro.
talking
Not a
grounded.
ship. He said a boat.
We're talking grounded. All right. I'm not grounded.
You know the
30,000
ocean's
I don't know
just
anything
as
about the ship.
the open ocean is
Definitely
just as scary as being in the
I can
sky.
Definitely
swim it.
scarier.
No,
I think
not at
so.
all.
You can't swim
Are
in
you
the.
kidding me? 30,000 feet in the fucking air? You're telling me it's a lot
Okay, so if
safer?
Yes.
You're gonna tell me
Fucking
that
hanging out with
you're
Jaws?
all right. Let's pretend that the plane crashes and you're crash
I'm
landing
dead.
into the
I'm
Atlantic
dead.
fucking Ocean.
Dead.
How are you getting out of there?
I'm
How are you
dead
getting out
because
of
of
there?
the heart attack I'm having on the plane crash.
So here's a question for you: You're
I'm
on a
not
boat and it
surviving
starts
it.
sinking. What direction do you swim in the open ocean where it's just water
You
around
can't
you?
tell what's around you,
Just go.
and there's nothing
I'm
but these
just going.
crazy
I'm just going.
animals,
You know what I mean?
creatures.
And seeing what happens.
Could
know
you
what I mean?
imagine if a legit boat crashed, right? And they're like, and we're all like, oh my God, remember Dylan? Like he was on that boat. They're still looking for bodies. It's been terrible. Like it all sunk. And then like
Piece
a
of
week
fucking
later,
floating.
Dylan just swims on shore and he's like, I told you, I got this shit.
Yeah, dude, I would make it. I'd help set up the ring at London. That's how quick I'd be fucking swimming. You know what I mean? I'd get there before the day even started. Tony Khan would be out there being like, oh man, we might need an extra pair of hands. Someone just called out. Had to fly them back home because they got sick. Don't worry, I got a TK. Don't worry about that. I got that shit right here. You know what I mean? Like absolutely ready to go. And
Just
a moment's
wear a
time.
life vest on the flight. You know?
I tell you now, if my plane was crashing, okay, the heart attack that I'd be having during the plane crash into the ocean, into the trees, into wherever, I would be dead before the crash happened.
Did the masks come down?
Scared every part, everything that's locked in this bean burrito body that I got here would absolutely just come out, and there'd be nothing left but just mess. It would just be mess.
But wouldn't you rather die from a heart attack than
I would die from a
drowning?
heart attack. That's the point.
No,
My
but I'm saying,
heart
like,
would
so then
literally
you would
come
think you would
out
want
of
to fly
me.
instead of take a boat, because a heart attack is a much less painful death than like slowly drowning to death.
Yeah.
I could swim. I ain't worried about that. All right, I could swim. I
He
ain't
doesn't have
drowning.
this figured out at all.
From the middle of the
I
Atlantic
got
back
no,
to the
ABJ.
continents.
I got this fucking figured out. All right,
No, you don't.
I
No, you
can
don't.
fucking be grounded in the
You're
sea.
shark food. That's it.
Dude, sharks and me are gonna be best friends. You know what I mean?
A mermaid's eating you. That's all there is
Dude,
to
a
it.
mermaid and me are gonna be fucking united. You know what I mean? We're gonna be
Did the
fucking...
when the planes start going crazy, did the masks fall out?
No, nothing came
Oh,
out.
That would
No.
would get me. If the masks fell, I'm like,
that's
we're
scary.
fucking dead meat.
Yeah, no. He just like literally so we're up. We're about halfway into Virginia, going into PA when all of this fucking absolute shit show happens. And the two stewardesses on the plane are like, "Oh, what would you like to drink?" And right before I'm about to say, like, "Oh, can I get a Sprite?" They're like, he just drops to the fucking floor, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then all of a sudden, the plane just starts fucking falling. So the two people that were having a fucking panic attack prior to getting on the plane are yakking. I start like, I'm looking around like no one else is panicking. What the fuck? And I start crying. I start calling my mommy. You know, like, dude, I was fucking losing it. I was losing
Oh my
it.
god!
I was
wish
losing
that was
it.
on footage.
The guy pops up, and then the best part is the woman, like a couple rows behind me, that charged the cockpit, was like, "This dumb motherfucker! Like, what the hell is the matter with him?
Yeah,
Why the hell would he not warn us that he's gonna drop 3,000 feet?"
He doesn't know.
Air. He didn't warn us. He didn't warn us. Nothing. He just
And it's
was
an
like,
air pocket. You can't see it.
dude, we dropped to like 26,000 feet from 29,000 feet. And when he gets on the plane, when he gets on the intercom and he goes, "Woo, well, that was unexpected, now wasn't it?" I just was still profusely crying. I was just still fucking crying the whole way to LaGuardia, like absolutely tears coming down my face. When we landed, he's outside the cockpit. The woman said, "You're a piece of shit pilot. I'm never flying again." And I was just like,
When she stormed the cockpit, did like a U.S. Marshal? Like,
yeah, no, someone tackled her. Someone grabbed it to the floor. Grabbed it to the floor.
Did they tie her up? Did they tie her
Dude,
up?
and you know what's funny? It was the guy was sitting like second to the first row, and he heard her coming because she was screaming and she was charging. I mean, you heard the fucking boom, 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 boom. Like you heard the footsteps going, and he just went yeet, and he grabbed her, and that was it. Done. Sat her right next to him. Was like, "You're not fucking leaving." Done. End of story. Like that was it. He belted her up. Done. And then I'm still in the back. I'm still in the main cabin. Like, you know, and now I'm trying to watch the last voyage to Dimitier, and I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like, just get me home, please, God. I never prayed that hard in my life on the way to North Carolina and on the way home from North Carolina.
Did this happen on the way home or the way to?
This was so the worst of it, the dropping, was on the way home.
Okay.
Going to
Oh
North
my God.
Carolina.
Could you imagine if you guys pick him
was
up at the
shaking.
airport and he just comes off and his mascara's all running and he's just...
Dude, I was.
What happened? I want to talk about it. Just take me to your house.
I got to LaGuardia.
I'm flipping out.
I got to LaGuardia. I went to the restroom. I tried cleaning myself up, and I was like, I'll never fly again. I'll never fly again.
God, I wish I was sitting next to you when this happened. I would have videotaped you. I would have videotaped you crying.
I'll never fly again. Well, what's funny is Byron's like, dude, we're just gonna get wasted before we get on the plane.
Yeah, that's
because if we die on the plane ride, we're gonna be drunk.
This is why you should be allowed to smoke like weed before you get on the plane. Like if I was just like
Dude, if I smoked before I got on the plane, I would have died because of a heart attack. Absolutely.
Smoke an indica, you'll be out cold.
I'm gonna be
He
dead.
doesn't like weed. Weed makes him paranoid.
Yeah. And I'm already having a panic attack flying.
Yeah.
By
All right, well,
myself.
listen. This was a good segue out the end here. Thank you guys for having me. I got to get ready for my stream tonight, and we got to rearrange the room.
Yes.
But I appreciate you guys. Kay, Asa.
Yep.
Nailed it. Guys, great seeing you again. We'll chat very soon.
All right. You'll be well, ABJ. Lily, have a great night. I'll see you later.
Night now.
Night. And that is going to do it also for us here as well. Why don't you guys talk about some cool things exciting that are happening on your channel? Leo left us. Just left without even saying anything. Hi, Leo. That was it. I guess he thought he was just the show was over. No, not at all. So yeah, if you guys have anything you guys want to plug, talk about anything exciting happening, go right ahead.
Yeah, as always, we have AEW Weekly. It is our video podcast. It is happening Monday at 6 p.m. You can watch it on our YouTube page. You can watch it on Twitter, which is at No Bones Wrestling. That's at No Bones RASSLIN. No Bones Wrestling. And you can watch it on Twitch. So you can watch it live Monday at 6 p.m. Or if you don't want to watch it live, you can watch it anytime after that. We save it. And you can watch any of our content. Just go to our website, www.nobonesabout.com. And you can catch any of our content right there.
And the day after the podcast or the audio goes on Spotify and anywhere good podcasts are found.
Well said. Very well said. Yeah.
That's past my bedtime.
What she was trying to say is that you can find audio only versions of the podcasts anywhere good podcasts are found.
Thank you.
There you go.
You're welcome.
Listen, it's past my bedtime too. So
yeah, me too.
I don't blame you, but we are gonna get out of here. We are going to, of course, wrap this up. But yes, going forward, we're probably gonna only be covering AEW stuff, Dynamite and Collision. Going forward with the new work schedule and everything, it's a little harder to kind of keep up with Raw and SmackDown and the pay-per-views and the pods and all this other great stuff that we're trying to do for you guys each and every week. So we're going to unfortunately cut back on some stuff. But of course, next week is going to be night one, next Tuesday, predictions for WrestleMania 40. And the Thursday before, of course, the Hall of Fame night 2 of WrestleMania predictions is also going to be happening. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that stuff. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see Dipset Cody finally be able to complete that story against the ramen champion himself, Roman Reigns, right there. Absolutely. Hopefully, we will see that great story finally be told. But for now, we say adieu, and we will see you next time on Last Week in Wrestling Podcast. Have a great night, guys. There you go. That's how we do it.
On the outside looking in.